mic check, live from the NZXT. Just want to talk to the people before we do this. Make sure our level is good. I'm on the new rig. You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure.
You have to turn down the.
What's up? It's too loud.
The beat.
Beat. All right. Beat. No doubt. Beat is turn down a little bit. How my levels? What's going on? NZXT represent Astro Parrot King. Flame, what's going on? Talk to me. Sounding good. Addict, talk to the people.
Question.
No doubt. King, talk to the people right quick.
You know what it is.
You sound low.
Sound low.
Just a little bit. You hear that good, all that gloriousness of the king.
Let me boost though.
Yeah, you get that boost.
That NZXT boost.
Yeah. Get that boost. All right, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what y'all here for. So we gonna switch over. Give us a minute. This is emergency podcast.
You hear me?
Oh, there we go. Oh, solving the cut. All right, no doubt, solving the cut. So we just gonna switch over. We gonna switch over if y'all don't mind. Cool. Second round.
I'ma just chill and watch them and eat snacks in the attic. I wanted to chill with the pack and be like a young wolf, but then they would mistake me for addict. If I can imagine it's cool to give you some advice, then invite your girl to your squadron. Cause if you don't give her that option, you gon' be single player like Sovereign. You gon' get tossed in the bushes by King David. Royalty and not a pretender. Detrimental to an elemental, what's an avatar to a knee bender? I gotta be me though. I know it's my destiny, work to Carnito. Who cares if you fly, if you still a mosquito? You swear you ain't stuntin', but really be Steve-O.
Yeah.
You like to collect stuff and that's cool, but I got bad news. Even if you really was that dude, King David still be the king of the statues. Since a juvenile, I've been cursed with a curse to be musical. And if you hate it, we'll meet in the crucible. Other than that, then it's cool and it's beautiful. We let you know that your dreams are pursuable. Whatever you wanna do, then it's doable. If you got work on a Sunday, it's suitable. Cause you can listen to this in your cubicle on the Lord's Day. Woo. If you got work on a Sunday, it's suitable. Cause you can listen to this in your cubicle on the Lord's Day.
Mike for how?
Or you just wobble to the car.
That's right. See that place has the swimming pool, the sauna, and the steam.
Oh yeah.
How come I just see me? Hold on a second. We gonna fix that in a minute, but give me 1 second, y'all. Mic check solve real quick.
Hello.
Cool. I just want to say y'all at the bottom. I don't know what I did.
About as good as it's gonna get.
Highlight.
Look like Mr. Magoo.
No, it's only set for you. So go over your box, and it should let you resize it to another one. There'll be another option.
It's one of them little resizes.
Mr. Beefy.
Yeah, it's too beefy. Like, yeah,
They said that you be having that white.
Oh, there we
coat
go.
energy.
Yeah, it's that emergency podcasting on the fly.
I'm surprised he ain't put on the white coat energy.
Emergency situation powered by NZXT last minute. You know what I'm saying? So look, man, y'all know what it is. We're going to get right into this. Hear ye. Welcome to the emergency broadcast system of the Iron Lords podcast. Live and direct on a Tuesday. What are we doing? What's going on?
Fantastic.
Definitely not the
in the
Lord's Day.
building.
Yeah, it's crazy right here. But we got to talk about it. This is a code red emergency podcast, the biggest leak in Xbox history. So obviously the realm wants to talk about it. We did have initial plans to wait till Sunday, but because of the nature, most likely, of our guest and all the other things we got going on, we just figured, hey, let's just get right into it. So let's introduce those lords here. I'm going to start actually with Saul first live from an undisclosed location. How are we doing, sir?
I'd like to apologize in advance. I'm coming to you guys live from a bunker today because I'm the one who leaked everything. So
oh, you on the run? You on the run?
I'm in hiding. So hey, I'm gonna let y'all know the real from where I am. But
yeah, we can't do that right now.
Apologies for the sound.
No. We appreciate you, brother. We know right now the feds are on you. It's real hot right now. We got to protect.
Real hot in the streets right now.
Gotta protect our brother.
This is true loyalty. This dude leaked it. We still mess.
I gotta send you this inside the chat.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to pass out. Please look at
what you said. Oh,
right now. You gotta read what somebody posted under the bottom.
Yes, I feel that. They're like, no. Yeah, a lot of fears and dreams for some and fears for others have been released.
We want your boo. We want your boo.
Oh man, this is gonna be crazy.
Outside looking for your honey.
Well, let's shout out my co-host, the co-most Lord Addict. How we doing, sir? Emergency broadcasting system. This is not a test.
Yeah, and keep in mind,
You low.
You low.
I'm low.
Yeah. Now you're a little better now that you up on it. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta put that mic up on you.
You got to get up on it.
Well, I think what's going on is they where I have this new computer, they're probably okay. What about now?
Yeah. Keep talking. Keep going.
All right, is that fine? Is that fine?
Better.
What it was is the computer was hijacking my volume.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is going to be an interesting thing, man. We this is it's horrible for Xbox, but it's good for us.
It's a crazy time right now. Let's just say that for sure. It is a crazy time. We're gonna try to break down as much as we can, and then of course you already know the Incredible Hulk of this Xbox's future general. You already know. Hold the line movement, bro. Lord King, how we doing?
I'm doing incredible. What? I saw the news. I said, keep on thinking he Mr. Niceville. I told you already it's going to be this work. Get these hands, son.
So you were happy with...
This is all he gleans from.
Yeah, that's what he gets from this. Yes.
I'm telling you right now, I like smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys be out here talking out your butts. So, this ain't Sunday, so... y'all be talking out your butts. So y'all call my name. Told y'all pop up like Candyman, but when I pop up with business. Business paperwork. I showed up with paperwork.
You showed up with paperwork.
That paperwork's serious in these streets. Come to find out the paperwork is serious in these streets. Putting that work on your back. Your boo ain't safe. We cuffing your boo. We don't care if you're married or not. We coming for.
There's a lot to
like the money. The money good over here.
There's a lot to talk about, y'all. It's crazy. Addict, do me a favor. Let's get some tweets out. Let people know we outside because this is a rare occasion for the Lords. Obviously on this emergency broadcast system right now. It's kind of crazy.
Tuesday.
I'm tweeting.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, chat, man. As you can see below the little, the caption, there's a share button.
Yeah.
All right, I want you to click that share button and click that. YouTube hasn't fixed it. It's still Twitter. So on YouTube, I want you to tweet this link on that Twitter, man. Let's get this out to as many people ain't used to us on Tuesday. You got to inform them.
We gotta let them know. I'm no Lords is outside, so we see what's going on. But look, sorry for eating, y'all. Apologies, it's not professional podcasting, but no, we got to talk about it.
This isn't an average podcast.
Yeah, this is something that again came together last minute, but it was one of those things. So let's try to get to it.
We decided we was going to go live an hour and 10 minutes ago.
Exactly. So let's try to get to it as best as we can. So look, obviously, shout out to Wario64. Last night about maybe 1 a.m. Eastern. A flurry of news information started to be released. And it first started off with Codename Brooklyn. King. Codename Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, we go hard. We go hard.
I'm loving all of this. Yo, Brooklyn, yo, you know what it means? That means they got on them high Tim's energy. They got on beef and broccoli business. Right now, they doing things. Man, you're in trouble. He said Brooklyn. Oh, you know what Brooklyn do. You know what Brooklyn. Yo, think about it. Really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Manhattan keeps on making it. Bronx keeps creating it. Brooklyn keeps on taking it. Brooklyn
crazy.
out here to take your boo. The code name is Brooklyn.
So yeah, I mean, obviously we learned about an Xbox Series X refresh, codename Brooklyn. I'm not going to go into every single bit of detail here, but updated technologies, Wi-Fi 6 that looks like kind of like a cylinder design, all will deliver 4K Gen 9 console gaming, more storage, faster Wi-Fi, reduced power, more immersive controller, and beautiful redesign. So there's a lot of things to unpack with that, but that was kind of like the gist of it on that front. It then went on to, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correct, codename Siebel. Yeah, it looked like that. It do look like that.
And I got it already, and I don't want y'all to even know about it. I got the white edition. you dudes thought
you got big white man for Series X.
I'm telling you, man.
A little white man.
I'm in the no.
He going back to back with it. So we got King on that, and then in conjunction with that was called Siebel, I believe, new Xbox controller, the world's best controller, playing on a screen near you. Xbox Wireless 2, direct to cloud, Bluetooth 5.2, a whole bunch of mobile app features, precision haptic feedback, accelerometer, quieter buttons and thumbsticks, durable, rechargeable, swappable battery, repair and disassembly. Same ergonomics as Merlin. I'm assuming Merlin is the last code name. Lift to wake, y'all. So a minute you lift it up, you have the controller in hand. I guess there's some type of sensibility there for that. And that was pretty much that. Kind of has like a Series S feel at the top with the white and the black. Kind of like the new Elite kind of thing, white and black kind of thing. But yeah, so we had that, and then pretty much, the mid-generation lineup, as far as codename for Series S looks like it's Elwood. Codename for the refresh of Series X is Brooklyn. Again, I'm assuming Elwood is, we're going to say Little Black Bear sub, because what is it? 4 terabyte. Yeah, it seems the physical storage 512 to 1 terabyte. Kind of what we know about Wireless 2. Shout out to Wi-Fi 6, y'all. I was kind of happy about that. Shout out to Wi-Fi 6. And you got that, and then there's Uther. I don't know what this is. Xbox Series X and Ether. Code name Ether. Yo, you stupid.
They dropping Ether. I know what that is.
Yeah. So again, it kind of like a whole Series X and XDL, and then universal controller for both code names. And we got that. And then what else? There's so much going on. Then we had launch timelines, you know what I mean? As far as when they were talking, looks like they were thinking about next year. And then Elwood with the 1 terabyte launch. Again, that's the revamped Series S, $299. Brooklyn, again, which we talked about, 2 terabyte launch, looking at close to November. And they had like a 60-day separation. All
digital.
Yeah, all digital. Good point, Soft. Good point. All digital. They had a roadmap for this whole thing, a whole bunch of improvements there. And then I'm going to go on because we have a lot of leaks, y'all. This is crazy. Again, Wario64 said, it's going to be preface this. This is not the law.
I bet you if that man wasn't blacklisted, that avatar's blacklisted now.
Wario64 right after that, pretty much had kind of like a roadmap as far as the schedule is. And this, again, looks like Bethesda's plan. And of course, now mind you, the years are different. This is saying fiscal quarter year 20. A lot of this stuff has either come out already, but this was the initial plan that it looks like they had
before COVID.
Yeah, before COVID. So fiscal year 20, Doom Eternal and DLC, which I think we did get. Elder Scrolls Online Greymoor, I believe so. Fallout Wastelanders and Deathloop. So Deathloop was supposed to come out then. And then obviously the mobile aspect. I'll leave the mobile stuff alone for right now. Then fiscal year 21, Starfield in 2021 was supposed to come out. Elder Scroll expansion, Redfall 2021 was on Bethesda's list. Doom Eternal DLC, Ghostwire Tokyo 2021. Fallout Worlds, Project Hibiki, don't know what that is. Now for 2022, the plan was the Indiana Jones game. Oblivion remaster, which is very happy to see for a lot of people wanting to know about that. It looks like it is real. It exists. Elder Scrolls Online expansion again, and Starfield DLC. So Starfield was to come out 2020, and then the DLC was supposed to come out the following year, 2022, which obviously we know what happened. It didn't come out. It was supposed to come out in 2022. It didn't happen. Then fiscal year 23, Doom Year Zero, Project Kestrel. Wonder what that could be. Maybe because it's Bethesda. One of these got to be Hi-Fi Rush, but we're going to leave that alone. Elder Scrolls Online expansion again. Elder Scrolls getting all the content. Project Platinum. Very interesting name. I don't know what that's about. And then fiscal year 24, Elder Scrolls 6, Project Kestrel expansion, licensed IP game, Fallout 3 remaster, Elder Scrolls Online expansion, Ghostwire Tokyo sequel. As for me, and then Attic for you, Dishonored 3 officially written down. Like that is a big one.
That means that when the Deathloop team finished, they probably went straight to Dishonored 3.
Dishonored 3, and then Doom Year Zero DLC, and then we still continue again.
We still continue.
Plans. Let's be honest. Of beyond just this is why the leak is so massive. It's beyond just the next year, the mid-gen refresh. We're now talking future console, console generation.
I thought it wasn't going to be one, though. I thought we wasn't even going to have a mid-gen refresh.
Well, yeah, it looks like the commitment to console is still there. Again, shout out to Wario64 because he said that we had a statute of limitations. You got to protect the IP. Release in 2028, cloud hybrid games. Potentially switching to ARM from x86. They're talking about cohesive hybrid compute, cloud to edge architecture across silicon.
Shout out to Crackdown 3.
Shout out. And that may fear has some people scared, but we'll talk about that. Graphics and OS enabling ubiquitous play. Now, this is another soft buzzword term, AI and machine learning enablement. Optimization and acceleration of game performance, operations, and developments for players and creators. And then on creator platform, open and extensible game and immersive app development platform. And it goes on. The extent of these leaks, this literally feels ripped off the actual whiteboard. They have basically things labeled in game performance, game experience, creator efficiency, player service, and live ops. Then what's highlighted in green is actually what stuff that's established already in Microsoft Gaming. Stuff that's in yellow is kind of research and proof of concept, and stuff in gray is actual fertile future ideation. So a lot of things still have to be in play, but this was part of the vision. So I'll just talk about what's established projects in gaming, for right now. For game performance, they talked about super resolution deep neural networks. So that seems to be the closest as far as this future for that. I don't know what frame rate interpolation is solved. I don't know if you can help me out there.
I think it feels like it's frame insertion stuff.
Right.
So it's like it's basically smoothing out the frame rate by inserting frames in spaces, right? So it kind of smooths everything out. The stuff that we're seeing right now with whatever DLSS and FSR, just again, I feel a lot of it, the stuff that they talked about with this gen is stuff that like big buzzwords that get people to be excited about it. But as we've seen, like a lot of that stuff it's just now starting to come into play, right?
Yeah.
In very minor ways. So again, this is just that stuff coming to fruition and really being a part of the ecosystem now. Yeah. As opposed to in the beginning, it's just kind of buzzwords, and they hope to get that stuff on there. Same with like ray tracing and stuff like that. You get some stuff with it, but it's there's a high cost to it. It's not something that's super integral to the experience. Hopefully, moving forward.
You may have lost
Not the case.
Okay, Solid back. So yeah, we got that, and then xCloud latency compensation.
Oh, you lost me. I'm sorry.
No, you back.
We got you back.
Nah, we got you back. You good?
This is what happens when we get bunker.
Exactly. Listen, you on the run, bro. You on the run. You did what you did, and now we got to protect you. So you and Wario64 running a tight ship over there. But
I might be Wario64.
Okay, Sasha Diamond. And then obviously
Wario64 watching the podcast. He is. All the smoke goes to him.
All the smoke. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously xCloud latency compensation. That's in proof of concept. As far as game experiences, they talked about AI agents, codecs, and RL based. I forget what RL is. I'm losing that right now. But again, proof of concept. What's established? Matchmaking, player ranking. We know they're excellent with that kind of stuff. Creator efficiency. We got AI game testing, procedural content generation, physics, inverse kinematics, NLP dialogue generation, all in proof of concept stage. Player services, safety and toxicity, personalization, discovery, support services, all already established. They've been excellent in that kind of stuff already. They've been showing that stuff with the voice messages and stuff. And then live ops, they're talking about engagement and retention management, monetization improvement, cloud resource optimization. So as we continue on the leaks, shout out to Idle Sloth, because he put this out, Idle Sloth. This, conversation that came up was about Game Pass and Game Pass engagement. And it looks like Game Pass subscribers play 14 hours more than non-Game Pass subscribers per month. Game Pass subscribers also spend $23 more than non-Game Pass subs per month. So we have that engagement.
But I thought we don't play games and we don't buy games. I thought we didn't do these things. This is crazy. These leaks is kind of crazy.
Yeah, there was also, comments about Phil. Again, shout out to Wario64 outside with it. But apparently at some point, Phil made a comment, at some point getting Nintendo would be a career moment. And I honestly believe a good move for both companies. It's just taking a long time for Nintendo to see that their future exists off of their own hardware. A long time. So yeah, that came out there, and that's out in these streets when how Nintendo feels about that. So we got that aspect. And then I do want to speed pass, because again, it's so much. There was actually, we'll get into the responsibility. I'll actually leave the responsibility for next topic. I do want to bring this to King, though. I thought he would take great interest in this part. Shout out to The Verge. Microsoft, the leak also discussed their reaction to the PlayStation 5 reveal. And according to senior leadership, and after they showed, the just announced PlayStation 5, he said they said that they would expect to have a 30% advantage over PS5 on GPU performance and a 25% memory bandwidth advantage in terms of real-world performance. This was Elizabeth Hamrin from senior leadership. And then, Phil went on to say, how he was very confident about, after seeing what they saw. Now they did give part of the redacted chunk as far as Sony, the long-term price advantage on expandable storage, which proved to be true because they went with the standard slot solve, right, as opposed to the proprietary
regular NVMe, proprietary. Yeah.
So they talked about that would be advantage, and then they did talk about, obviously they felt they had the teraflop advantage and stuff like that. And pretty much, after looking at that reveal, Phil was kind of confident. He said almost after 12 hours of soaking into their unveil, taking apart their specs and looking at the community responses, I just want to say that I'm proud of the team. And Satya Nadella, young Odin, jumped in, said, this is really great to hear, Phil. Neither of us have announced pricing yet. And this was right during that time. So look, there is a ton of stuff here. There's a ton of stuff here. I just want to talk about, you guys can take it any way you want. I want to start with you, Saab, because I know time is limited. So take it from any angle with all the stuff that you know. Pause. What are you gathering from these leaks?
That was the craziest pause I've ever heard.
It was that crazy? Can take it from any angle? It was wild crazy? It was super pause for it?
That was crazy. Yo, I can't even repeat
time
that.
on me. Time. I didn't even, I'm such in my leak mode pause that I didn't say, that I didn't even realize how crazy that sounds. I didn't realize how crazy that sounds.
He don't do good on Tuesday.
I don't do good on Tuesday. I'm usually good on the Lord's Day. It's holy.
Yeah. His Tuesday game is a little lacking.
There will be no angle taking here.
You don't want to take...
I don't know.
No angles at all.
Have you ever?
Nah, addict, don't fall for it.
We ain't going there. We ain't going there. Back to you, Saul.
Back to you, Saul.
Well, I mean, I think the first thing is just like completely gobsmacked. Like when I was up when they started coming through. Cause
yeah, we noticed.
I went home. Yeah, I was up because I was super sick last night, and I went to bed, and I think my wife
he gone.
accidentally gave me something with caffeine, so I couldn't sleep.
Oh,
So, okay. So I was up, and then Dragonheart Yobi started texting me.
Yeah,
stuff,
he sent
and
me
I'm
them
like,
too.
oh wow! And then I saw that, and then I saw it from Wario specifically. And it's funny because Tom Warren, before anybody started saying, hey, apologies in advance for all the spamming that's going to happen because I got a lot of stuff to say, and I guess Wario beat him to the punch. But I think for me, the first thing is like it's a sad day for the people.
Yeah.
First party over there on Xbox that
Yeah.
have their work out there in the streets and are not able to now control the narrative of when they want to talk about this stuff, how they want to talk about it. So that's a sad thing. That's a sad thing because again, as people who talk to everybody on all sides of the industry, we know how special it is for them to be able to, talk about this stuff on their own terms when they're ready to talk about it. And that's been taken away from them, right? And to the revelation now that it was sort of their own doing, and I say them because we don't know who it was, but obviously it was internal as opposed to the FTC's doing. It was just a very, very bad mistake that obviously is going to have repercussions. So with all that said, I mean, again, it's a sad thing for them.
Actually, it was a court clerk who did it.
I mean, it's so conflicting because we got VG. Let's save this part on who did it for because that's the next topic.
Yeah, we can point fingers at that person.
Hey, we don't need to do that. Saul did it. What are you guys doing?
I got a picture of them, so we're gonna get deep into that.
Let's save that for the next point.
See that picture? Yeah. I got the face of the problem.
Oh man,
the face of the problem right on the podcast. Saul.
What are you talking about?
Yo, hit that like button, y'all.
I'm happy to give the blame to somebody else. But so with all that said, though, obviously this is super, super interesting information. And it is the craziest league I've ever seen because you literally have their entire roadmap pretty much for the next decade out in the streets. And looking at it, it's obvious. One thing is obvious that they were affected by COVID, right? Because a lot of the timelines for the games that they were talking about are super behind, right? So all that stuff is now what that means is that a lot of that stuff feels like it's more imminent than ever because they had all that time to work on it. An Oblivion remaster, a Fallout remaster, this new Doom, whatever. It seems like that stuff. So when they talk about now, like, hey, I can see now that every 4-month cadence or every 3-month cadence, we're going to start having a game. It makes sense because all that stuff has been backed up and on the back burner. So, that's kind of interesting to see. Now on the hardware side,
that's what
I didn't really start to compare specs, right? But in terms of specs that you guys looked at, so the refreshes are just, they're adding Wi-Fi 6. They're making a lot of quality of life changes, right? Power efficiency, obviously the size of the consoles and kind of like redesigns of the consoles, but they are more powerful, right? So these are refreshes in terms of look and sort of internal stuff, but power-wise, it's not a pro version.
Yeah, so basically, Phil did not lie about
Is that
not
the case?
doing because remember that the talk was obviously Tom Henderson, shout out to him and his team. They had put out the PS5 Pro information that we knew that was going to be around that timeline, but. And then when they spoke to Phil around that, and he was like, no, we're kind of content this generation. We're not going to do kind of like the mid-gen refresh. But when you look at this, it's not truly like a upgrade. This is more like a slim refinement.
Yeah, a slim version, right? Yeah. It's the redesign that you expect sort of mid-gen, where it's like, okay, we can now manufacture this for cheaper. We can make it smaller, more power efficient, things like that. So the things that they're adding are cool. But it isn't, the games will play the same or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's very cool stuff.
Do you think that is a product of where we are with COVID? Because I honestly believe that none of these machines have ever even got close to reaching their potential. I believe, Forza will probably be the first this gen game pushing whatever the hardware can do from what I've seen. So do you think that's the reason why they like, you know what, we don't need no more power because we didn't even tap into the power that we have yet.
Well, that's the truth. I mean, again, we talked about a little bit before about the buzzword stuff, the FSR and all that stuff that was supposed to help these consoles punch above their weight. We haven't really seen it in a real way. At the start of the gen, there are a whole bunch of buzzwords that they kind of expect us to want to be excited about, and then it sort of disappears into the background. And then, you know, all of a sudden you start hearing, oh, this game uses it, this game uses it, but it uses it at a hardware level. It's not controllable by the user, right? By the end user. So the expectation is that, you know, on the PC side, obviously that's in your control. So moving forward, I think that's kind of where they want to go with. They give you that option on the console side. And again, it may not say FSR or whatever, but again, looking at the different sort of performance modes and things of that nature, we'll get more and more of that stuff. That's the hope. So, but in terms of what these consoles are, I think this is right on par with what everybody's been doing. You will always get that mid-gen sort of refresh of the hardware that allows them to manufacture it for cheaper.
Yes.
If they can make it smaller and more power efficient, they're always going to want to do
more. Yeah.
Yeah. So that part
for the
is
consumer. You know.
Yeah, that part is normal.
Oh, you got the exclusive. Oh, that's that Brooklyn.
I gotta cover up the port.
Yeah.
I gotta cover up the port.
You got that gentrified Brooklyn.
No, this is the dev kit. So I gotta cover up the ports because I don't want y'all to know the secret ports. But what I can say is it fits perfectly in your hand. It's very efficient.
Like
you
a football.
See the top. You see you can.
I can't with him.
From what we've seen of these designs, they look very cool. It's small, right? So that's cool and that's to be expected, right? And that's the type of leak you sort of expect to see something that's like a year out or something like that. So that stuff is cool. Now, what really just was eye-opening is the fact that, like you said, like the entire roadmap for years and years to come is out there. And when we start talking about future hardware past the Series X, what's interesting is this idea that they're going back to an idea that they introduced during the Xbox One generation, which was this hybrid sort of model where they're utilizing cloud power in conjunction with local power to give you experiences that can't otherwise happen locally. Even if you have a super powerful computer, right? When you're talking about these cloud situations.
Well, power the cloud, though, so
that's the
so this is the thing, right? We go back to all of these buzzwords that they use, secret sauce and all that stuff, where they introduced it in the Xbox One generation, knowing full damn well that they were not going to be able to achieve that level.
But we got a demo, Soft. We had buildings breaking. They told us that it was
in a
possible.
very controlled environment. that when we saw that wrecking crew mode in the actual game, it was not that. It was cool for what it was. It wasn't that. So again, obviously they have confidence in this tech, and it can be something somewhat transformative. Because the fact is that they're banking their next console to be sort of rooted in this sort of tech. That's super interesting because it means they got something, right? They're going back to that well after, you can assume that a lot of people were disillusioned by the fact that stuff was not necessarily true in the Xbox One generation. So it's interesting that they're going back to that stuff. And again, disappointing that that stuff is out there now in a way that, narratives are going to be created around it without them being able to speak on it how they want to. So that stuff's interesting, though. I don't know what, as we're using more and more local power, right? Obviously now we have these PCs in the house, and we've been talking about other PCs, 4090s and things of that nature. These are very capable local machines that can do a lot of cool stuff.
Right.
But again, the cloud tech is something that everybody's focusing on. Everybody is this is the future, no matter what, whether you believe in it or not, everybody's focusing on it in one way or another. So the fact that they're kind of banking their next gen console on sort of being a pillar of the cloud stuff being a pillar is super interesting. And we'll see how that pans out. Now the third sort of aspect of all of this is the emails and all the stuff and the conversations behind the curtain. And I think we have to say, first off, beyond the shadow of a doubt, there is no doubt whatsoever. The idea of Phil Spencer as nice guy. You can get over on him. Smiley is out the window. I think with Game Pass, the idea was create a platform that allows us to rule the world and little by little continue to add to that until we have everything. When you talk about the FTC stuff, right? I think Lena Khan said something to the effect of like, yeah, a lot of these smaller deals that sort of fall out of our purview allow a lot of these companies to sort of continue to sort of build up their control of a certain sector without us necessarily being aware of it, because these are all small purchases, piecemeal here and there, that overall over time,
it's not like Sony stuff.
Exactly. But it's stuff that they all do, right? Because why would you not want to continue to build your strength in a way that's not being monitored by the watchdogs, right? So she talked about that, and the fact is that the idea that we're talking about, Phil's comments about a Warner Brothers and obviously a Nintendo.
That came back.
It's super bullish, and this idea that hey, everybody's for sale. It's always a conversation to be had. Usually it's a money thing or an ideology thing, right? Obviously, because the comments around Nintendo were very interesting, because it's one of those things like Nintendo wants to be sold, they just don't know it yet. Like
the comment on Nintendo was hard.
It's really, really out there. So again, and it's funny because Phil came out and addressed a little bit, and he was like, hey, it's kind of sad that, stuff has changed, so all of this stuff is out of context and not the realities now. Because if you look at it, like this idea that they wanted to really 2020 and Nintendo kind of hey, their future isn't on their own hardware. Their own hardware is selling like hotcakes, and if they continue to stick to this hybrid model, there's no reason to believe that it's gonna change with the next iteration of whatever the next platform is.
Right.
So this idea that forget about all that. Your reality at some point in the future is you're going to be a third party, or you're going to be exclusively making software and not doing hardware. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects the relationship with
moving forward. Now that this is out, that's a good point.
The conversations that were not to happen. Oh, they know they want her, but it's one of those things. It's like you see Bowser and the head of Nintendo Japan, be like, oh really? This is what you think we are, right? So it's one of those things that these are conversations that are not supposed to be out in public, and all of a sudden now, there might be some awkward emails and conversations back and forth about
awkward about it.
What is the meaning of this?
Okay. First of all,
I gotta get
don't know that they was courting them in the background.
Oh, they were. For sure,
Boo got that 10-year ring too. Like, hey, look, Ma. And Ma took it. She signed the paperwork. So when they signed the paperwork, they was like, I told you. She want to be wifed up. Right now, she in her phase right now. She outside.
It's baby steps. Is working towards it.
Nah, we ain't going to use the words baby steps today. Stop that. Get out of here with that. You're going to throw that away.
So, I mean, to conclude my part of it. Like I said, this is, quite frankly, the largest leak I've ever seen.
Period.
And I love this.
Period. And again, as content creators and people that talk about the industry, we eating good today.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like, okay, on the Microsoft side, you gotta say, okay, what do we do now? Because obviously this is all out there. Plans can change, right?
Absolutely.
But it kind of does feel like this was their route. And whether they continue with this as is or make changes to it, because you know what, as fans, right? Sometimes we talk about like, oh, why is the gaming industry so secretive? And the fact of the matter is, this is why.
This is why.
Because when you talk about movies that aren't secretive, that the next Batman or Spider-Man movie is coming years down the line, whatever the case may be. It's different because here, when you're talking about the confluence of art and tech, if your stuff gets out, somebody could look at it and be like, hey, I'm gonna beat you to the punch.
Oh, say that thought. That's gonna be third topic 3.
And so the idea that this stuff is out there so many years in advance Jim Ryan and everybody at Sony is looking like, okay, this is what they were going to do. Do we have to start thinking in that route, or maybe they were thinking in that route already, or maybe they were thinking in a completely different direction that now makes them do a double take and be like, okay, where is the future going, and what do we have to start kind of?
If they don't know
changing
where the future is going, and they are a $1 billion company. Then they really need to fold up faster than I think. All right. So this leak ain't make Jim Ryan go, this is what's happening over there. No,
I have to agree to a point. For the most part, I would say there's some things on this list that Jim Ryan didn't know, but I would say for the most part, they knew the direction that this was going to go eventually. And I think
when you look at Sony's reluctance to sort of follow suit completely, right? Because they
still think they're going to get Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
That was the only thing on that leak that they saw that they said, oh, hell no, not again.
Yeah, that's what I forgot. A definitive sort of it's not happening. That doesn't count as legacy content. Yeah, so again, I'll let you guys talk.
Yeah,
I'm gonna move around and I'll chime in when I can.
No doubt.
But
crazy.
This is crazy.
Make sure if you see a red dot, you dip.
Oh yeah.
Head low, bro.
Head low. Down, windows are closed.
I heard the hitters is outside. I heard the hitters is outside.
The hitters outside, but I was prepared for this though. I'm always ready, always in the street. BX baby.
BX in the building, you already know.
They don't come up to the BX unless it's meaningful.
Exactly.
Now mute your mic. We'll hit you when we need you. But let me get at it because he's been quiet. And yeah, bro, we was up pretty late. Obviously, we're configuring.
I got in trouble for that.
Yeah, new PCs. You were helping me out. So. Yeah, what do you think? There's so much to unpack. Like, what do you think of any of these? What are your thoughts of these things, man?
I think for the most part, the biggest thing that I think that they didn't want out there is maybe Sony was curious that they were going to do a mid-gen refresh. They know they're not now, like 100%. Right. Like, Phil can come out there, look what's in my right hand, and then PlayStation's like, we good. Then he stabs him with his left. Oh no, we got a mid-gen. So now it looks like that's not probable. The biggest thing I think that when it comes to cloud computing, they knew they were going that way for the longest time. I don't think anything cloud computing wise really surprised PlayStation in terms of this. I think the games is what's going to hurt them the most because now, as far as Bethesda's side, they got an idea of what they're coming out with. They got an idea of what they can develop to combat these. Okay, this game, we can give this a little bit more time. Obviously, there's still some question marks, but I'm sure PlayStation knows an idea of stuff we don't know that's in the pipeline because obviously they got friends talking. They got the dev kits at some of these studios. What's the other side of the building working on? So that's just the part that's sad the most. It's like, content creation, we lit.
Content creators are lit. I mean,
and I'm sure there's some Microsoft executives watching this, and it's like, man, I hate it. I do. Yeah. It's like, because it's just like, I hate it as a consumer, and I hate it as a fan of some of my friends. Right. As a fan of Microsoft, I hate it as like, I got friends that work at Microsoft. But as a content creator, I'm like, ooh, I got content today, tomorrow, the next day.
This is news.
Probably next week's good too. Yeah, like we are phenomenal on this, but it's just like, I like the games because they're saying we'll get to that here in a second.
Yeah,
but
what games you like? What games you saw?
They got that Fallout 3 remake happening.
You and Maddie gonna be party the streets.
Oblivion remake happening.
I'm gonna be party the streets.
You know what's crazy? It's like they chose the most popular games of those franchises, and like we bringing them back.
Yeah.
And then in the same documents, it just come out openly said, "Oh, Elder Scrolls 6, yeah, that's ours. That's not yours." Like this shows that when they bought them, they knew what they were getting.
Yeah.
And, you know, as far as games being pushed back, I do think there's a chance that early infrastructure, we know how this is, just because they expected to have a Doom prequel game doesn't mean that's what happened after they formally bought the company. Maybe stuff went wrong. So they might, you know, there's certain things on here I think might switch around or just not be in development at all. Right. I've been told by multiple people that I trust that IED is not working on a Doom game.
Okay.
So, you know, that might have been exchanged. I hope to God Dishonored 3 is truly coming out, because I would love that. And it would make more sense than anything else. A Ghostwire Tokyo 2
sequel. Oh, yes, for me.
Yeah, so it's like, it's nice. It's nice because what we're seeing is there's that couple years where there's a lot of multi-plat stuff that didn't really bring value to Xbox in terms of like exclusivity.
Yeah.
But now you're starting to see this massive list. And keep in mind, the roadmap from Microsoft was already massive.
It was massive already. Yeah. And
now this just added on to it.
And to your point, Attic, you know, a lot of this is still in a pre-ABK world. Right, without the ABK integration and the things that, you know, was going on there. So it's a good point. I felt for you because I know how much you care about those games that look like they're coming. So for you, you've always been the guy that when we talk mid-gen refresh, you'd be like, yeah, that's nice, but what's the games that's coming, right? So to see the games that you love, beloved games, like especially the Dishonored 3, I was like, yeah, that's crazy.
I've been screaming for Dishonored. You know, we got what's crazy is 2024 with the okay, first off, push everything in this list back a year. Right? That's my personal opinion. If you expect some of these games to be out in 2023, 2024, I don't think that's realistic. Like Elder Scrolls 6 says 2024.
Yeah, this is old stuff.
That's not happening.
That's a different list. That's pre-COVID.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would expect some of these games, like, you know, Dishonored, that could probably come out 2025, early 2025. I would expect something like that, because that's not really
Corvo.
Yeah, I'm curious how they do that. You know, Fallout 3 remaster, I could see that coming out 2024, because if they don't do a full-blown remake, it will be easier to get that out the door.
And they got the movie in conjunction with the Fallout movies coming. I don't know if y'all saw, like the TV show or whatever.
Look really good.
It looked really good.
And what's crazy is Oblivion remaster was supposed to come out last year.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Well, what happens if like it's announced at like the Video Game Awards?
There's
like,
so much possibility.
Because this Oblivion remaster, by the time it should be at the end, you would expect that, because it was supposed to come out 2022. It's 2023, unless it was canceled, which I don't know if it was or not. It's like I said, all these this was old information that was relived.
Right.
So any of these could change. You know, Project Castrillo, whatever that's called.
There's so many projects. Yeah, we got project code names that we still don't know what some of these things are. So there's still more games that we just don't know. And
did you notice the 2024 is a licensed IP game?
And again,
what is that?
This is just Bethesda. Like, we're not even talking about the rest of Xbox games. Like, this is just them. Like, they had a lot cooking. It is insane.
And it could really show that, you know, Bethesda was worth that purchase. It was worth that money.
Starfield justifying it right now. Starfield right now.
You know,
they out here moving consoles, and you
know how they do. God Howard show up. You know what it is.
When God Howard pull up,
you know when God Howard
who did that? Who did that?
Walk in the building. You know, and we come in with a trophy.
And the fact that they projected Indiana Jones to come out probably the holiday of last year makes me think that might be a 2024 game.
That was supposed to come out with the movie.
Yeah, it makes me think that actually might come out holiday of next year, or maybe summer of next year. Like this list it just adds on to an already huge, massive list. Like it's gotten to the point where they're not discussing what they're going to do for games. They're discussing when these games are coming out. No, I got Gears of War 6 gonna be ready 2025. I got like 6 games this quarter. That's 2027.
Yeah, chat. We know that the Phil statement is out. We're gonna get that for the last topic. We just want to talk about it. We see. I don't. Thank y'all for. We got y'all.
Oh.
But
it just they are definitely most 100%. There's probably games right now that's either done or almost done, but they have no clue when to launch. It's like, what we're going to do, launch it beginning of next year. They're probably going to get hit with Hellblade or Avowed. Middle of next year, probably the other one. The end of next year, probably Indiana Jones. Okay, we're going to go into 2025. Okay, probably Fable. Outer Worlds 2. Like,
it do start to get scary if they can hit
like Pacquiao in his prime.
It's going to get to the point where they're going to, unless they want these games to come out and not have to wait 6 months, because they're going to have to start letting them cannibalize other Xbox games. Because it's just like there's no, realistically, and I'm gonna say, King, let me bring Zoom back up. I'm gonna say right now, realistically, there is no way, 100% no way, in hell PlayStation keep up with this quality of game, this amount of games coming out.
Yeah,
like,
they can't even keep up with the
no
games
way.
that we got coming out now.
Like PlayStation hasn't showed anything already, really.
Yeah, besides, those two shows are terrible.
Besides Spider-Man and Wolverine, we know a Ghost.
We ain't seen nothing of Wolverine. That could be canceled for all we know.
That could be canceled. Stop it.
I haven't heard hide nor hair of that mutant.
Stop it.
No one isn't going to deny the amount of sheer
volume
quality that these games are going to be out. Spider-Man's going to come out, probably get a 90 plus. That's what I'd expect it to get.
It could be a 99. They still don't buy over there.
It's gonna be highly received. The next Naughty Dog game is going to be highly received, and they're going to do well.
They're going to
then Microsoft's going to walk in the back door with 585 plus games and knock that dude out. Like,
the sheer volume will overwhelm them.
But they do got to be quality, y'all. They do got to be quality. Volume is one thing.
I mean, Starfield done showed you.
Right. No, absolutely. Now, again, if we're talking from a Starfield quality and that type of zeitgeist, then yes.
Yeah,
the sheer volume of punches becomes very hard to deal with.
And we, besides, people like to make fun of Xbox got no game, but besides Redfall, what unquality games do they have?
It's a massive year for Xbox.
Wasteland 3, 85 plus. Age
of the year.
All the Age of Empires, 85 plus, 80 plus.
Right.
You got the Psychonauts, it's like an 86, 87. Like, literally, they are doing nothing but hitting hits out now. They need blockbuster. They need console selling games on top of that.
Yeah,
because I feel like they do have a lot of smaller titles that nothing wrong with that. And I feel like a lot of people love those games. I love Wasteland 3. It was a phenomenal game. But you do need those particular games that gravitate people towards them, the nice looking games.
That game was difficult.
I think you're going to get that with like Fable, Perfect Dark. Hopefully, I don't know about
Fable. Looks amazing.
You're going to get that with the next Gears because Gears always looks great. I think you're going to probably get that with a lot of not to mention we don't know what's going to happen with the with Oblivion and Fallout 3. Are these games coming to PlayStation? Like they're legacy titles, but they're remasters at the same time. Like when I see legacy, I think of games that's already out on platforms. Now, most likely these are going to be on PlayStation, but that Game Pass day and date, it's like, oh man, you go buy that game. I'm gonna play over here where I don't have to invest that much. Besides my $15.
I think you're right, and I think you're onto something, and I think that's the better strategy.
Which one?
No, the strategy that he just said. Yeah, the legacy titles, those titles, the remasters, the remakes, or whatever. Yeah, day and date and Game Pass, and let these dudes over here pay the cash for it and finance us.
These dudes
why you gotta
fix your head like that?
Nothing new. But you take that old stuff that we done remastered and remade,
gotta do that.
And go play with that, and just bring me back my money. Go to the store. Bring me back my money. Go ahead.
People that sit there and say PlayStation has nothing to worry about. You're seeing PlayStation's moves say that they're worrying about it. They're scooping up all these studios. They're trying to put stuff on PC. They're doing whatever they can, and with the bank account that they have available to them to combat Microsoft's big bank account. It's the truth, though. Like, right now, PlayStation, you guys can say what you want in the chat on the panel.
Dollar General.
If PlayStation could buy the studios that Microsoft is buying, they would have done it by now. And what's funny is they always say, people always say, what's that nice little sentence that they love saying called?
Organic growth?
Organic growth. Acting like PlayStation wasn't on the Bethesda purchase. They got out purchased by Microsoft. Yeah. Acting like they didn't try to buy the people that
we've already established this. The last five,
they bid what? They bid like what? Yeah. Like $8,000. I mean,
we've already established this. Yeah, we've already established it. The last five studio purchases were not organic. They had no prior relationship with. Sorry, Sav, go ahead. You jumping in.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And we haven't talked about the numbers that came out about prices that Microsoft was willing to pay to put certain things.
Yo, you seen them Game Pass prices? How dude was asking to get
the fact. I mean, obviously, some of that stuff hasn't come to fruition.
Right.
If the fact that there's a willingness to pay that amount of money, yo, that's crazy because it really is. Let me bring the list up. It really is. We're gonna drown you. You cannot follow us into these waters. It's impossible.
So shout out to Liza P. Liza P is out right now. Go download that.
Where's that at, King?
Yeah, that's on Game Pass right now. Liza P. hey, we eating good over here. When the leaks come out, Liza P show up.
I gotta ask Solve this. Like, Solve, what did you think? You such a Red Dead guy. Did you see the joint where they were expecting the Red Dead remaster? Bro, the price was crazy.
How much was it?
I got to find the price.
It was like 300 million, right?
Let me read the list.
Before you read the list, Saul, but did you see in 2022 where they had the drought, right? Where they remember the whole Redfall, they knew. Phil made the statement like, "Yo, this is a bad thing. We have to double down based on what has now happened before the news gets out." But Red Dead they was counting on that remaster and to get that into Game Pass in that year as well. I just wanted to know what you thought of that before. Okay.
I mean, it's crazy. Again, it goes to show that like COVID messed everything up and pushed everything back a year and a half. Because again, at this point, we thought that a Red Dead next gen wasn't happening. Because it's like, all right, you're gonna give us this Red Dead 1 sort of a port, right? You're not even doing it. And then people running around on console 30 FPS and Red Dead 2 wondering where is this 60 FPS upgrade. And the assumption was, well, it's not going to be a patch. It's going to be a new SKU, going to be the next gen version. But again, with all hands on deck for GTA 6, we were like, all right, they're not doing it then. They're just skipping over it and whatever. If you want to play 60 FPS, go to the PC. But yeah, I mean, that was surprising that was there. And the price was
these projections. Let Addy go. What's these projections?
So we got Jedi Survivor.
How much they want?
At $300 million.
Hey, Star Wars costs money.
Red Dead Redemption 2. It looked like $5 million per month. I think that's.
Oh, they got a different rate. Yo, shout out to Shaun. Shout out to Shaun Sailor out here doing the words. He hustling. He's like, now our rate is per month, King.
And it's good because we ain't gonna keep you in there long. We just gonna keep you in there a good time.
Yo, he got a per month deal.
You got per month. We could do $5 million per month. We ain't gonna give you that 300. We give you that $5 million. We gonna keep you for 5 months.
Take Two is outside.
Yeah. 25 million. Good. We got you for 5 months. Go on, get out.
Strauss was like, nah, homie.
Then you got Suicide Squad for $250 million.
They get ahead with that one.
Mortal Kombat 1 for $250 million.
Yeah, never.
Assassin's Creed Rift for $100 million.
Fall through.
They ain't fall through.
We got Gotham Knights for $30 million.
Yeah, shout out to that. That's getting ready to show up too.
$30 million.
We got Dying Light 2 for $50
million. They should be paying
Xbox. Stupid. We got Dying Light 2 for $50 million.
Okay.
We got Lego Star Wars for $35 million.
Man, they outside with it. I guess those be moving.
Yeah. Oh no, the Star Wars was extremely successful. That Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, off top.
Dragon Ball.
Is hot.
Dragon Ball: The Breaker was $20 million.
There we go.
Okay.
We had GTA 5 between 12 to 15 million per month.
Yo, what's up with him in the per month, bro?
When I hear Addict doing this, you know what I hear?
What?
Damn it, the hell with these marketing deals. We're going to get these games, though. you can talk about them.
Facts.
You can come over here and play them, though.
Facts.
Then we got Wreckfest 2 for 10 to 14 million. Right. Return to Monkey Island for 5 million.
Yeah.
And this is the one that got a lot of publicity. It was Baldur's Gate 3 for 5 million.
Wait, 5?
Wow. Yeah, see, here's the thing. That I think the reason that they were quoted 5 million is because this was this was a long time ago. So
This
it's probably
was
when
before,
it was in preview at the time.
So these were the projections. So they had the 5 million. Oh wow!
Yeah, well, because they looked at Baldur's Gate and they said, "Oh yeah, that's a Stadia game."
Yeah, see, people say, "Well, Microsoft underestimated Baldur's Gate." First off, who did it?
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that
Who
did
it. Yeah.
And second off, if you're Microsoft and you're looking at a preview build of a game that's on Steam that you could probably port to PC pretty easily or port to Xbox to be in the preview program and give them money to put on Game Pass, why would you give them premium money for a game that's not finished and released?
Tell the truth, Shane the Devil Addict.
Anyway,
tell him what it was.
Okay, so
I gotta get King's thoughts after y'all finish.
Let me.
We got 1,300 in here.
Hit that like button, y'all. This is emergency, yo.
Like, share that out.
Wow.
We don't rock on a Tuesday. We in your mouth on a Tuesday.
Pause. You talking about me from angles? You directly in the mouth.
No, yo, you know what this is, right? The provocateur is the provocateur.
We in your mouth in different angles. That's a key
No. Hey, yo.
Nah, you gotta put the real beat. You gotta put the real beat for that one, King. That was crazy.
Hold on. I gotta finish this. I gotta finish this. I gotta
finish the list, and then we gotta get King's thoughts. Yes.
Just Dance for $5 million, Blood Runners for $5 million, and Glitch Busters for $5 million.
What's that? And why they want
PlayStation game?
Why they want
They gave that back. That was supposed to come out with foam stars.
That's part of the package.
Like, no, we don't want that bust.
Oh man! All right, so we got that. So we go with the list, because I gotta get King.
We're good.
All right, King.
We got a busload of super chats.
It's crazy. Yeah, we gonna get to it.
Yeah.
But look, we got to get to this. So, King, like, I guess my question is for you. There's two things. Obviously, you take it as far as what leaks you want to talk about first. But I do want to ask you.
See, that's Sunday card.
Yeah. I flipped it.
He had Tuesday energy when he was talking to Sav.
Yeah, I'm warming up. Emergency podcast. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my thing with you is like the mid-gen refresh, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, I really want to get into the weeds with the next-gen console, because we're hearing this hybrid such thing, right? Where it's like, cohesive hybrid compute, our vision, develop a next generation hybrid game platform capable of leveraging the combined power of the client and the cloud to deliver deeper immersion and new classes of game experiences. Optimized for real-time gameplay and creators, we will enable new levels of performance beyond the capabilities of the client hardware alone. They're talking about using ARM64 versus traditional x64 Zen, right? A balance of big and little CPU cores. I'm not going to get into the weeds with the machine learning, and that's solved territory. We ain't go there. But graphics innovation, next-gen DirectX ray tracing, global illumination, super resolution. So where are you at with all the leaks? But I do want to get your thought on the consoles, though. You're a hardware guy. Right. So mid-gen refresh, not doing a Pro, and then the 2028 vision of this next generation of Xbox. Where do you sit with all this?
Okay, first I want to say this. I mean, I know y'all see me really giddy. This really affects a lot of people, right? So I want to say first and foremost to all my friends over at Microsoft and everybody else that, on the periphery of this, developers and stuff that people that had their games talked about that they weren't ready to reveal.
Facts.
All of those things. I do apologize for how you feel right now, because I'm part of the problem at this moment, right? At this moment right now, we're talking about it. We're going to perpetuate it, but as a provocateur, I'm going to defend the hell out of this, right? Because, everything isn't always as bad as it seems, and everything isn't always as good as it looks, all right? So we're at a point right now where all this stuff came out and everybody's like, oh, it's bad. But on the surface, it looks good too, right? So you got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the yin with the yang. Now, to the hardware.
Let's get it.
First, I thought we wasn't getting hardware. All these dudes out here running. Just the other day, somebody was quoting me out of their head. Like, I told you, don't call me Because I'll show up, and when I show up with paperwork. All right, so I show up with paperwork. I don't see nobody talking now.
And real quick, King, you know, this is massive leaks that's very disappointing. But in terms of like besides the games, like they really just said a bunch of stuff that's been leaked at one point in time. Like I don't think they're like obviously the leaks suck, but when you look at like leak for leak, we've heard some form of rumor going towards that. You know, Phil's saying there's not going to be a mid-gen refresh. We clearly expect them still to have a slim of some sort.
No, but the thing with that is when he said listen, everybody doesn't want to believe that this hardware generation has been stunted. It's stunted. All right, your PlayStation has not lived up to its potential. Okay, really get a grip on that. Understand that part. It has not. The Xbox hasn't at all. There's still room to breathe in both of these consoles. And a lot of y'all thinking, oh, they're not doing 60 frames or they're stuttering and this, that, and the third. I really believe that's has a product of crunch. And how they had to develop these games at a distance, right? When they get back to traditional, and we heard a lot of our friends talk about the getting people back to the office practices of old, of being in the same building, getting people to come to work, getting stuff done, right? Everybody gets into these bad new habits of doing it social distancing and
remote work,
producing the game and sending the game in. That's why you get leaks and stuff like this, because no longer is somebody taking the paperwork over to the courthouse. Somebody is uploading a file to the wrong spot. This is the stuff that is happening now. This is why we got more leaks than ever. This is why this stuff is wildest as it's ever been.
Yeah,
it's because it's no more person-to-person stuff. So we're getting everything pushed back. Now, I truly expected, and I told y'all on the show that Phil's gonna come out next year at E3 and he's gonna beat them upside their head again like they did the last time, and they're gonna announce a pro and they gonna announce a console, right? And they like, so what? Right? We got this too. Now everybody's gonna say, but King, it's not gonna go take over the power. They catching up to power. We ain't gotta go past. Why do we gotta go past anything? They catching up to power. All right, so catch up to power, but pricing
that's what
on this is going to be different.
Okay.
All right, so the PlayStation come out $700.
So you say it's $7?
No, I think it's going to be like $699.
The rumors were $5.
It could be. Hey, listen, it could be. I was wrong before.
Okay.
You know, I would have.
Again, these are rumors. You're not necessarily going to be wrong. But my thing is,
but they could also
get it.
Shice people on the box, right? For it to be that $5, they're gonna shice you on the box.
What you mean?
It's like the Portal. I thought the Portal was gonna be a real handheld, right? Okay. They shice me in the box.
What you mean? Describe shice in the box.
Well, because it's not a real handheld.
Okay.
It's a screen. Technically, it can do things, but it don't do things. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I think they can make that price. What we do know, Microsoft will make the parts and stuff more efficient. Yes. They will add a little quality of life, like
already confirmed. Already confirmed.
Yeah, 2 terabits of because the games are getting larger in downloads now.
Facts.
You know, I was just downloading Liza P right now, so I saw that it was crazy. But at the same time, we need more space. A nice if you didn't like the Square Series X or this, you got a nice cylinder, model looking, type of thing.
No disc. You good?
No, I believe that they'll probably sell a disc drive on the side. The same thing like the pregnant PlayStation, where you can buy the baby holder on the side. Yeah, the same thing.
Last question. I know I'm interrupting you. I apologize. I'm dying to know. I'm sorry. I just want a scenario. If PlayStation 5 Pro is rumored by Tom Henderson to be at that 500 point at that same holiday season that Microsoft we clearly know was going to surprise them
$400
and jump up. So my question is, so you think they will drop to 4?
Yeah,
because
4.
Okay, that's what my question. Because my thing is they can't be 5 at the same as these guys being 5 with a more powerful system.
They're gonna be cheaper.
Okay.
they're gonna beat them cheaper with more games. Like you are the priciest for no reason. Like you are pricey. How bad do they want to play Spider-Man? Like how bad do they want to play? Well, we haven't seen Wolverine. How bad do they want to play the CGI Wolverine clip again? You know, how bad do you want to do it? Do you want to do it $600 bad, or do you want to play game? And I feel that it has shown, right? It has shown those dudes that brought those PlayStations. Y'all are here. Y'all already here. Y'all ain't going any place. Y'all already got a PlayStation. I think it's gonna start winding down now. You know, after Spider-Man comes out, they're gonna get the last couple of stragglers in because I see them things sitting in the store shelves. They there. You know, hey, go in there, pick up a PlayStation. All right, cool. It's a great thing for y'all. But it's gonna start winding down because the games are gonna start overwhelming you. Now it's more about the hardware and the games in conjunction. Okay, so you don't have to do a mid-gen refresh when you start churning out the games. Let the games speak for themselves. Sell the hardware that you do have. Let that hardware fly off the shelves with all the quality games that you do put out, and then let the game speak for itself. Let Game Pass be that vehicle that you said it was. And I'm going to give a shout out to my man, Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, living to every last word of his name. Dude is the boss that I told you he was. Everybody said that, oh, now he's nice. He's kissing babies, hugging people, and shaking hands. Yes, you do that. That's part of the job. Yes, you do that. But at the same time, is it equally exclusive that he wants to take over? No. That's one person that can be married in. That ambition is baked into that person. He can have compassion for you all he want. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to put a knife in you and turn it a little bit. You know,
that ambition is real? Hustler's ambition?
It got to be that way. I'm sorry, Tony. I'm sorry,
oh,
Tony.
Man, I'm like
sorry,
that.
Tony. You was my best worker. I'm sorry. I'm
Not
sorry.
the knife.
I will provide
So he come through.
He
come through with the smile, but
he said, "Look what you made me do to you." All you had to do was take the offer.
But King, he want to buy Nintendo.
Yeah, but Nintendo need to get.
Am I not my brother's keeper?
Oh, exactly.
He had Nintendo's on the shelf.
Nino Brown. Am I not my brother's keeper?
But King, you know the pushback is going to be, this is the problem, world domination, the monopoly. They're going to say that. They're going to say this is evil.
Don't block me, B. Don't block me. PlayStation been cheesing me for a long time. Don't cheese me, bro. Like this, we at the point right now. I'm so happy I woke up and saw this.
Why are you happy?
I'm so happy I woke up and saw this because you know we ain't playing no more. Like y'all, before I had to be humble with y'all, walk past y'all, knowing that I was gonna beat y'all up at 3, knowing that I was gonna set it on you. But now you know I came in school, I was doing this to you. 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock hit is a wrap.
This is the 3 o'clock document?
Yes, it's the time now. So y'all thought Starfield was just a one-off.
Yeah.
I really saw it because y'all had hope. But Elder Scrolls 6 though, because that's a legacy. Wait a second. Wait a second. Yeah, this is the part of the game where I told you ain't gonna be no PlayStation 6 and y'all thought I was playing with you.
You standing on it now. You standing 10 toes down on it now.
In the building. Look who I got. Okay, so his shooter tell you we'll spend him out of business.
Bad Booty the shooter?
His shooter said, nah, Phil. We're going to keep this Game Pass and we're going to keep day and date and we're going to spend them out of business, see? Because they don't got money like us.
Why you got to have to see?
He sounds like Jim Carrey off the mask right now.
He hit me with the Al Capone, see? Yeah.
You see? This is a team game, you see? And if they don't want to play the game,
but King, this is why the government going to get involved because
they get involved right now. And they ain't doing things right because what happened? They get involved, stuff get leaked out. Obviously, the government got a little bit of issues they need to tighten up over there. But you can't stop progress, baby. Like his ambition is so crazy. He looked over at the house that Mario built and said, I like you and I want you. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
King, but why he had to say they don't know just now how they don't realize right now how much they need us, and when they come to that realization that we're the right thing for you, that was gangster.
Tell me that didn't sound like the dude that said, yeah, I'm gonna marry her.
Yes.
Like he talking to you, he was like, she don't know right now that I'm the man for her, but I'm gonna marry her. She gonna be mine, and she's gonna love it.
Yo, Philly ambition is crazy. I can't front.
I love his ambition. Right, because you have not seen ambition like this. Like, first of all, y'all seen Cowardice. When the last time you seen Jim? He just had a show. He sent somebody else out there. He sent out a whole different person, somebody we've never seen before. Showed up on stage and said, "Thank you for showing up to the PlayStation show."
Can't front. Look,
this is what it is.
Okay, keep talking.
Boss moves. All you saw was paperwork of boss moves.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all fearful of the boss move. Y'all keep saying y'all want Xbox to compete. Paperwork keep coming out. They out there punching people in the back of the heads, grabbing people up in corners, telling them, this gonna work. This gonna work. And your best friend now is gonna be crossing the street like, yo, Xbox got the game, man. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna look at your PlayStation and say, you had a good run.
I can't.
You had a good run, but these I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta trade you in. I got to get the new redesign. The redesign is circular. It got a little bit more air. Got Wi-Fi 6. That's the controller. The controller. I got to talk about the controller.
Let's talk about it.
All right. So there's little aspects in the controller that tells you where they're going. Mm-hmm. First, when you see the branding on the logo, no console needed.
Yes.
Remember that. That's how you reach everybody else. Mm-hmm. The controller, why would the controller have a wake up?
Wake up on touch.
Why? Because it's going to identify with you. And then it also can link to your phone, link to your tablet, link to your TV. Mm-hmm. Why is this controller important?
Break it down.
Why does it have better haptic? Mm-hmm. Why does it have gyroscopes?
Yep.
Why is all this? Why does it have a speaker? It's all these things that's inside the controller because the controller is going to be the de facto. At a point in time, that controller is going to be your Xbox because that's going to be your portal into your gamepad.
He might want to be something, y'all.
Direct link in.
So I might have to give him that.
That's the direct link to the next console. So y'all sitting there saying, "Oh, but they're going to be using ARM, and ARM is a smaller chip, and the chip is more flexible." And they're talking about artificial intelligence. Who owns ChatGPT? Wake up! Wake up! You see where things are going. They're telling you that they're pushing stuff to the cloud. The cloud is, the infrastructure is there. Mm-hmm. They are all over. They have structures all over the place. So now it's going to be at the point where that cloud is a reality. We do see it offloading things. Mm-hmm. But with the ability to have AI navigate that whole thing and tie the threads to that, why you think they're funneling so much money into AI? To allow these things to actually become a reality. So yeah, 2028 is really far away.
Factual.
Right? So it's far away technologically because we're going to have to grow leaps and bounds to reach certain things. But those mile steps are being made, right? Mm-hmm. And if any indicator is that controller is going to tell you the roadmap. You're going to have a piece of the future by the time that controller comes out. You're already going to have a foot into the next generation because that's exactly where they're going to take you. So I told you before, Game Pass was the vehicle. I told you again, to reach those, when somebody tells you they want to reach 8 billion people and you laugh at them, you're laughing at somebody with true ambition.
Yeah, his ambition is crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. So if somebody tells you they can see 8 billion people, you got to reverse engineer. How do you see those 8 billion people? What are you talking about? You have to break down the conversation. And once he starts to tell you how he's going to achieve this stuff, is a reason why Satya looked over at him and said, okay, you got the money, go do what you got to do. The reason why, because if you can see it, you can achieve it, and you can make it happen. And he's on the road to doing that. What happens if Nintendo does take him serious and say, you know what? I see what you're doing with this stuff over here, and I do like exactly where you're going. All we want to do is just have control and ownership over this. And they allow that to happen? What happens then when you tell Nintendo, don't worry about the hardware aspect, just worry about software?
Yeah.
And we will build the hardware to your specifications.
I mean, that seemed like some sort of a proposal, right? As far as, their realization. I'll let you finish. And I'll get my balls off.
I'm done because as a provocateur, this has given me the ammo for a lot of these little naysayers that Xbox, if Game Pass doesn't reach a certain number, they're going to be out of the hardware business. Good point.
Facts. Good point.
I heard you. I brought paperwork with me.
Paperwork say they are super committed to console.
Paperwork said don't pay that article any mind. When I'm telling you, y'all talking for no reason. You're just talking for the clicks and the likes and to be heard. And I understand what you're trying to do, and it's a good thing.
The Twitter chat.
What I want you to do is be mindful of your words, because if my name is in your mouth, say it 3 times. I pop up with paperwork. I changed the way you look. Now you're looking clownish. You're looking foolish. I haven't seen you in 2 days. It's been disgusting. I would like for you to show back up. But remember, I always tell you, if you're going to clip something, clip the whole thing. Don't clip a little part and make a narrative and make a little story to get your little views up and get people to No, I got more viewership from you.
Behave yourself, King.
I got more people following me because of you. You highlighted me.
Hold the line, damn it, King.
You how you gonna try to make me look stupid but making yourself look stupid by proving my point?
I can't. Time on King.
Listen, I love you with all my heart, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm the wrong person to mess with. I love this Twitter stuff.
I know you love beef. Stop it.
Yes, pause.
You love beef way too much. Pause on that. Anyway, let me get my balls off. This man out here.
We outside, baby.
Out here Twitter shooting out right now. Relax yourself. But anyway, look, man. Wow, this was something, man. This was crazy. Hold on, why my joint ain't switching to me? I'm gonna switch to me because they don't want to switch to me right now. But anyway, we'll figure it out. But look,
just double click your screen.
Yeah, I did. I don't know. It's just on some wildness. It don't want to let me live. Yeah, okay, there you go. Anyway, so look, this is, first of all, I want to repeat what King said, and all seriousness. As content creators, obviously, yes, we love getting information. We love knowing about this kind of stuff. And, I think there's one thing to have like a rumor and say, okay, for next year or the next quarter, this is going to happen, right? And that's par for the course. That we've seen that kind of stuff. Leaks are inevitable. It's going to happen. But I will say this one did bother me, because it's one thing to leak, and then there's another thing to have your entire roadmap, stuff that you can tell is authentic documents from the boardroom, right? And to King's point, we know there are tons of people who work hours upon hours to get this information and to have it presented with proper context. Right? To have it presented in a way that we fully understand the vision. Because let's be clear, what we're seeing right now, we have an understanding, but we don't know what, a vision of a hybrid console could be without actual proof of concept, right? We don't know a lot of what this stuff is without the visualization and seeing stuff in it. So that's the part that I really have a lot of empathy and sympathy for the teams, because this was not under their control. And now people could just go wherever with the narrative, right? And not truly fully understand the vision. So that's unfortunate, and it's a shame. So I do feel for them in that respect. As a content creator, obviously we have to talk about it. I didn't leak it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to talk about it. So look, for me, let's start with the refresh. I was surprised, obviously, they surprised us last time with, little black man King, right? They surprised us, right? We didn't see that coming. So this would have been another one we didn't see coming. So to your point, it would have been a counterpunch in a way. Not that it was more powerful than the PlayStation 5 Pro, but the reality is they would have had an answer to say, hey, we have our hardware coming out. I do agree. I do feel, though, that price-wise, if we do find out that the PlayStation 5 Pro is $500, there's no way I feel they could come out at $500 with the system. Right, they're going to have to do something, or they may internally know that it may not be $500 for them, so they may be safe and keep it at that price.
But the thing is this, and it would have been a preemptive strike.
Right.
Just like the last one, you remember, they struck first.
Right.
And then you forced them to follow suit. You put price and make them either drop their price to get close enough to your price and make them drown, or you set a price that's close enough to their price. I think they can take a little loss on the hardware because they're going to have so much software and they want to sell you so much subscriptions that they'll take the loss on the hardware.
Yeah, no, it's possible. It's very possible. And, you know, the reality is obviously with the ABK deal and all, like Attic was saying perfectly, which is that, you know, we see the vision based on what we saw in 2021 and obviously what we see this year. Right, 2022 was definitely the banana peel slip, and that didn't, you know, wasn't part of the vision. And they actually commented about that, where they talked about how, like, you know, we really have to dig down hard based on what we know now with Starfield and this stuff not coming out. So, yeah, it's really interesting to see that part. So that's the hardware part. Obviously, the revision, the cylinder, everything looks cool. You know. Not surprised at least. I love Wi-Fi 6. I love the control. I love what they're doing there. The diskless thing does not bother me. I've already resigned myself to the fact that if you're going to have a digital future and you're going to have Game Pass as the driver, that's where it's going to go. So for the reality, again, I know my physical hardware, you know, lords and ladies, some people are not about that. I've already in my mind, when we've come out with Game Pass, this is the vision. That's where it's going. Right. Yeah. Whether or not, you know, you choose to stay there because of that is a personal thing. So you got that, you know, but that's the thing. Wow. I feel crazy bad for them. Like their whole business was out, like every aspect of what's going on. But, you know, obviously the creator in me loves me some Dishonored 3, loves that Oblivion is coming. Like based on what we saw from Bethesda, they are proving their worth tenfold with that acquisition, if everything comes to fruition, the Indiana Jones, all the project games, we see what Starfield's doing now. It's like, you know, it's a big deal. It's a big deal that they're going to have that cadence consistent. We're not even talking about the rest of Xbox Game Studios yet. We just talk about them, just them. So, and this is in a pre-ABK world. Crazy. Yep. So we got that. You know, I do want to comment on the hybrid console because I do see a lot of pushback. And a lot of people are saying, King, like, yo, that's not a future I want a part of. To Saul's point, you know, they made comments like, bro, we just been through this with Crackdown. When y'all gonna learn y'all lesson, leave that cloud alone. Then the other pushback is we did see in some of the documents that there was a statement kind of challenging Phil from another Microsoft exec, and I forgot the lady's name, where they were like, look, we understand the vision, but I'm worried that you're building a moat. Right, you know what a moat is, right? Around a castle. And, you know, from the content side, we're going to try to adjust and pivot, but almost like we're not sure, we're hoping that this cloud is the way, right, to go, that it's going to coincide with the game and the content delivery. And, you know, I think Phil did make a comment about, you know, what do you think would have happened, you know, without Game Pass or something to that effect, right? Just trying to get legit feedback as to why this exec was a little nervous, right? And what we have seen is a pullback from cloud or some of his documents, right? So the question some people are having, King, is saying, okay, if you're going to pull back from cloud, almost not admitting it was a mistake, but admitting that you didn't have to go as hard, right? But then in 2028, allegedly, right, where you're going to have a hybrid console, why are you committing to a hybrid console with cloud involved on any level? So this is what I'm going to say. And I think it's a valid argument. My thing is this. 2023 COG right now says, yeah, that does seem a bit strange, right? But 2028 COG, we don't know where the industry is going to go. We don't know what these proof of concepts are. And one thing I will say as gamers, sometimes we can't see it, right? So it's like, to me, it reminds me of Xbox's inception. If you would have told me, yo, bro, there's going to be, we out here playing with Nintendo 64.
Trust me, bro.
Yeah, like, we out here playing with GameCube, and I say, Attic, yo, bro, I'm going to make a console, and what we're going to do is we all going to have Fios internet, we're going to have the fast internet, and we're going to be able to talk to each other online, play games. And you like, bro, X-Band ain't even out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we using dial-up. What future are you talking about? Right? And they like, nah, I'm telling you, this is what we're going to be able to do. We're going to do X, Y, like, we're going to have a party chat. We're going to be able to play between each other's game. And you're going to like, yeah, bro, that sound nice. But you know what I'm saying? It is the same thing. Like, yo, bro, it's going to be digital games. And, you know, you ain't going to have to go to the midnight launch no more. And you're going to be able to download and pre-order in your house. And we like, yeah, that sound nice. Again, right? And then I'm going to tell you, like, yo, bro, like, it ain't going to be no more Netflix and all that. You're going to be able to download the app to your 360, and you're going to do all your media. You're going to watch TV from your console. Right? Think about telling us back then that all this going to happen, and we going to sit there and go, yeah. So, again, I'm trying to reserve judgment because we have information without context. We have information without proof of concept. They even say like some of this stuff is still some stuff they do have, you know, as far as their Xbox structure. And then other things they like, yo, we got something. So let's just say in 2028, which is substantial time from now. That is 5 years from now. And you going to tell me, like, that's like me telling you, yo, bro, we ain't going to use gas no more. We're going to have electric cars.
And you like, man, shut up.
Shut up. I'm going to be like, yo, bro, shut up. What, 23 cars going to look at you stupid, right? But again, I'm not privy to 2028 car. I'm not privy to all the things that they, you know, that technology can marry and close gaps. So it's going to be, the sad part about this leak is it's going to be more imperative for them to have those proof of concepts to show, boom, this is the wave. This is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And the last point I'll say, and I'll give it to you, Addict. Remember, a lot of times we got to give Xbox this. They are the first to innovate.
Always.
Sometimes they're just a little too early, right? Because think about this, and now this is my final point. I'll give it to you.
They tried to go all digital, and look what happened.
Right. But it ended up happening anyway. And then think about the Xbox One generation for a second. And remember how disgusted people were. Bro, TV. They marrying games with TV. Nobody's doing TV show games. What are you doing? What is happening now with The Witcher, Cyberpunk, Edge Runners? What is happening now, right? All of the things that we said are stupid, don't make sense, it's not the future of are literally happening and are now feeding. Last of Us is on HBO, moving and shaking, and is now feeding the games industry. So again, I understand the fear of the future. I'm scared too. I don't know how things going to play out because I don't have proof of concept. But when you look at 2023 and then 2028, they have a vision. So in my opinion, let's just wait, pump the brakes before we say and start fear mongering and see where tech goes. That's all I got to say. But other than that, look, you know, I feel for the teams. I know they wanted to do things on their own, you know, accord. And I do want to switch gears to topic 2. I'm sorry, Addict. Oh, no, you're good. Go, bye. I interrupted you. Go ahead. Go. My fault.
I think when it comes to the cloud computer thing, I do think if they're planning on revolving the entire console around that's an issue. But if they're planning, even if it's one of those things where it's like, we don't know what's in 5 years. It's like I could definitely switch that way or could not go that way. Right. Like I don't even think Microsoft knows what the industry's going to be in 5 years. So it's like, you know, I feel like the cloud computing needs to be an option. And as long as they build the system as that an option, I don't think there'll be too much of an issue. But if I would say, it's like I said, the only issue I would see is if they're trying to build this thing only cloud computing.
Right. Because
like 80% cloud, 20% not cloud. That's where I would be. Now, if they have a couple like massive multiplayers that they use in the cloud infrastructure to generate, then that's okay. But it's like, do not center the entire cloud computing around this system. Make sure it does what it's supposed to first. But if you want, you could play everything cloud. You don't have to download nothing. Because I think that's what they're doing. They're like, look, we're going to give you an Xbox 2 or whatever they're going to call it. And you can play everything like you do now. Or with our new cloud computing technology that we've came out with the last 5 years, you can play everything where it feels natively on the cloud. And you don't ever have to download anything. And as long as it's like a decision that, and then, you know, they prove proof of concept. Once you prove to people that it works and it's efficient and it works consistently, then you can start dialing the other stuff back. But you have to have that proof of concept. And to me, do not do the proof of concept at the launch. Like,
I mean, look, it's one of those things that's going to be on them to have to prove to people. And I do think you got a good point in reference to, how it's integrated. Because again, as gamers, all we think about is Crackdown. When they, when we like, oh man, they better not be that, and they better not talk about they gonna get extra teraflops off the cloud because right? So the way I look at it is, again, I have to just look at the document and what I can see, and it says they're leveraging the combined power of the cloud to deliver deep immersion and new class of game experiences, right? So part of me also thinks there's also things on the back end that, put it this way, King, you remember this. One of the downfalls that, even though you were clowning, what we used to call him, Phil Luminous, Phil had, red shoes, right? Red bottom. Yeah. So we used to clown. Remember when he came out with the Stadia announcement? Mm-hmm. And if you remember, there was a statement where, remember, they were like, yo, we're integrating YouTube into it. And then when you playing your game, your favorite streamer could come in. Mm-hmm. Remember all those features that never came out? That, like, Stadia's features from a cloud perspective was fire.
They went back to they went back and was like, yeah, okay, I said all this, but we never agreed to none of that.
Yeah, like, bro, none of that
figure it out. Like, it's not possible.
Facts. None of that stuff came out. But at the time, right, we were like, yo, if they implement that, that's actually fire.
Y'all did that.
Yeah, I did. Listen, I'm a techie.
I believe nothing he said because I knew where we were.
But what I'm saying is, so now if there's some type of machine learning, there's some type of back end experience that makes, case in point, King, last point I'll say. We got these Series X's. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you, but I don't remember a time where you grab your phone and you set up your console out the box. Remember?
That was the greatest thing I've ever had.
Okay. So again, subtle ways of implementation of cloud and things that made the experience better.
See, this. Okay, you're definitely on fire with that.
Okay,
but this is Microsoft we're talking about.
Facts.
Okay, we're talking about a software company.
Yes,
that was all done through software.
Yes,
right. So the ability to have that conversation from your phone to your console to your Wi-Fi to everything,
right,
made it so simple and so easy.
Yes.
They have the engineers on their end that I honestly believe. See, this is why I didn't believe Phil Luminous. Mm-hmm. At first, I don't trust you. Mm-hmm. That's one. The red boots, I was just like, nah, he's wrong. But the stuff that he was adding onto it, right? Like Addict says, proof of concept. Don't show up that day and don't talk about the moon.
Right.
But we're coming out this week. We're coming out this week, and we don't have the YouTuber jump in feature ready.
Facts.
But down the line we would. But we just need more people to invest in us. I don't want that energy, and Microsoft don't give me that energy. Microsoft is going to get you to point A to point. We just happen to see the roadmap,
the full roadmap.
But the next console, if they say that it's going to be powered by X, Y, and Z, and they're telling you that they're going to use the ARM chip, that means they have the thought process in it to be flexible.
Yes.
Flexibility of that chip to take it from the archaic. I was looking at old Noah's Alex, right? And I looked at him and Kay Asante for my PC knowledge. And the way that they talk about the consoles, it's like they're low end, off the shelf, 86, whatever that's called the motherboard. They act like our consoles aren't what we believe them to be. Right now, if these guys think that, could you imagine what the engineers that are putting it together and they are futurists,
right? Absolutely.
And they're looking at the tech going forward. They have to future proof whatever the tech is, and they have to think years ahead.
Facts.
Right, so I believe the concept. I believe the concept.
Last point I'll say, and then I'll move on because I want to give Attic his flowers with this one, is that I see a lot of pushback on the fact that they're not doing a true Xbox One X style upgrade. And I get it. I get it. And I listen, we're so used to, let's be honest, right? Them digital foundry comparisons, right? And you get in the third party, the multi-plat. And I'll say this. The reason why, listen, I'm all about the power. I'm not even going to front. I do like that, right? That's my joint. I like, listen, I'm the guy that's going to pick up this console, but would have picked up a console that gives more frames and ray tracing or whatever. But I want to say this. We got to be real too. And this is for the Xbox community. For all the flops and all the resolution, and don't get me wrong, when the 1X Scorpio propped off, we was on Digital Foundry popping bottles off of every frame and everything that was better on a third-party game. And it was a beautiful time. But we got to be real, too. When Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us came out, did anyone care about the frames at that point? Nope. So the point I'm trying to say is, you got to have the games. And Addict has been consistent all the way through. And every time we talk about a new system and a new thing, he'd be like, all right, that's cool. So what about what game is going to be on it that's for them? That you see what I'm saying? The difference is when you have a year like this, or the 2023, and you have a Starfield, and you have a Zeitgeist, you have a moment, you're moving consoles, you have a Hi-Fi Rush, you have an Age of Empires, you have a Forza Motorsport, right? And you have all these things, and then you have the 2021, and then you have a 2022, which potentially we just saw all this roadmap, and we saw ABK deal could close. So every game of Activision Blizzard King in Game Pass, Bethesda's lineup, Xbox game. Now you got the games, bro. Right? So my point is, are you going to care about GTA having more frames, or are you going to care that Hellblade is a 90 Metacritic, Avowed is a 90 Metacritic, that all the games that you have are quality? And guess what? They're in this amazing service. Oh, by the way, your man who don't even rock with Xbox, because we saw the splits on Series S and X. I don't know if you saw for that April, 70% more people in that year, that time frame, had Xbox Series S versus Xbox Series X. So what is it was your thing with the you call it the broke dude.
Lockhart.
Right. So
get a Lockhart.
It's always going to be the software. So if they got the software, and that dude now is like, yo, you know what? I got a PlayStation, I got Nintendo, but I could pick up a Series S right now, get in the Game Pass, have what you call it, right? Have Call of Duty off rip and all of Activision. What's going to matter more? And then you yourself, King,
proved it's not about power.
Exactly. And you yourself, King and Attic, are talking about the volume.
Yep.
If you got 85s, let's just go low ball. And not everything's a 90. Let's just say you got nothing but 80 to 85, 87s. But they're coming out quarterly every two. And you got the Game Pass fillers in between, the Lies of P. It starts to get crazy. Right? It starts to be an accumulation.
This year by itself.
This year's showing right now. They're eating right now. I don't know what nobody else talking about. I don't pay about attention to social media. They're eating right now as far as this volume, and that's the thing. Yeah,
I literally don't have enough time to play everything that's out right now.
Literally, Sea of Stars, Liza P, all this stuff is out. Sitting there running around in Game Pass and all that stuff. So look, that's all I'm saying, and I get it. You know what I'm saying with the console stuff. I completely get it as far as that. But if you have, and then the last point I said, I've always said, 3 SKU approach. We already have the S and the X.
Yep.
Now you're gonna tell a developer to make a third, and let's be honest, some people are a little annoyed. We got to be honest. There are some chirps of people that don't want to do the extra development time for the Series S or whatever, based on their studio size or what have you, right? So yeah, we got to see. But anyway, that's all I got to say. Let's move on to the next one. This was the funny one. I do have to ask you about this. So, responsibility of the leaks. Obviously,
I think I got the. Hold on.
Yeah.
I got who did it.
We got who did it. So, look.
Let me get the picture.
What picture? Oh my God! What is he doing? What is he doing over there? What's going on?
Hold on.
This is man dumb, but yeah. Look, while you were looking for pictures, yeah. Shout out to Video Gaming Chronicle. They're stating that Microsoft was reportedly responsible for this week's giant Xbox leak. The documents revealing confidential plans were published on a federal court website. And this is from Bloomberg. They said that citing a person familiar with the matter, Microsoft accidentally uploaded the information to the court's website. And then the FTC Office of Public Affairs Director, Douglas Farrar, said that the emergency wasn't behind the leak. The FTC was not responsible for uploading Microsoft plans. And yeah, so that's what we got right now, where the FTC is saying it. Yo, how you gonna put Solve out there like that? Not my bro. Come on, man.
Yo,
not to stop stitching. We got him. We got him.
The leaker.
He on the run.
He just took a flight right now.
Listen, if you don't see Solve on IOP for the next couple of months, my boy's on the run right now.
And he gave you the peace sign.
He on that first flight. Oh man, not like this. Not like this.
He took the red eye. He took the red eye.
So, what you got to say for yourself, man? You out here putting stuff up on court websites? What we doing?
Listen, man. I had to dip out for a moment. You know, they were circling around me.
Yo, what happened at the TSA? Was you all right?
They gave him the buddy pass and let him in fast.
Yeah, apparently my connect for my Fugazi papers did not do their proper due diligence.
So we
found out.
You gonna be doing the podcast live for PR now?
From an undisclosed location
until all this blow over.
So look, bro. So let's get you because we get a chance. So FTC claiming that Microsoft they try to say it's on the boys. So where you at with the blame? With how did this happen? How did we get here?
Well, this is the thing, right? I mean, an FTC spokesman came out and said it wasn't us, right? So I don't know. At some point, you can't do finger pointing for that. At some point, the reality of whose fault this is going to come out. So that was the early story, right? And then it got sort of changed and it became internally from Microsoft that they accidentally uploaded it to the website and left it unprotected somehow, which is bonkers to me, right? So I don't know. Again, this will probably be something that's fluid and continues to change, and we'll get a real answer at some point.
Yeah.
But that's just wild, man. It is so crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy, man.
Because the thing is. What's crazy about it though, and we talked about Lena Khan a little bit earlier. It's think about all the stuff that we just saw in these documents,
bro.
All of this proof that Microsoft's goal is to just take over the game industry, and they still couldn't beat them in court. It's crazy. It is bonkers that you see this email where he's like, yeah, Nintendo's ours. They just don't know it yet. And it's the judge is like, nah, they're good. They're good.
Did you guys see?
Did
you guys see the article where they're talking about hostile takeover to Nintendo?
Yo, it's wild.
It's really crazy. So again, this FTC stuff. Again, it's shiesty politics and shiesty. This is it's funny. You think, video games, it's all love. No, it's a shiesty business, man. This business is
what's funny is I'll read you a part from this article where it says this is an email with Phil Spencer. Just read how crazy this sounds. I've kept in touch with Mason. I don't know Morphit. As he's been acquiring, it's likely he'll be pushing for more from Nintendo stock, which we could create opportunities for us. Without that catalyst, I don't see an angle to a near-term mutually agreeable merger of Nintendo and Microsoft. I don't think a hostile action would be a good move. So we are playing the long game.
How is
kid,
that
get your
even
man.
an option? How is that even? How is that?
We gonna play the long game. That's what King said.
We're gonna go in there. We're gonna go in the back door. We're gonna buy out some of the. We're gonna tell people to buy stuff.
Back door.
That is.
And we're gonna take over like Vivendi was trying to do to you. So that is crazy.
That is by far the email I'm concerned the most.
So you're concerned the most about that. I've said numerous times on this podcast, this is what goes on in the background. And numerous times on this podcast, you guys have laughed at me. You guys have told me I'm delusional. King, that is not how it works. And I told you how my man gets down.
So just to clarify, you don't think that the hires for Nintendo reading this on Twitter and be like, oh, that's why these individuals was buying stock, because they might want to leverage it to force us into a merger. You don't think that might, make some bad blood between the two?
No, because they also read the paperwork and it also said, nah, that's not a good idea. Let's play the long game.
Phil definitely said, a hostile takeover is not the option that we want to go with.
That's right.
But he also said, homeboy buying stock that we could use to leverage our way.
Hey, listen.
And we forgetting Valve's name was in this. Valve's name was in this also, y'all. And WB.
Yeah, you gotta listen. You always gotta have your options in order, just in case, man, and just in case the wedding don't go how it's supposed to go. You always gotta have Jimmy Dean at the door with the shotgun. You always gotta be a shotgun wedding sometimes, man. It could go down nice. Listen,
you're playing a long game.
That's right. That's that, man. I have too much ammo. You don't tell me somebody said, nah, I don't want to go in there forcefully. I want her to want me. I'm not gonna force myself. We're gonna play this along.
Gotti the situation.
Something about her flowers. I'm gonna take it to fine dining.
I will be honest. That particular email, I do think that might cost.
Come at the heart. That might cost.
Because it's just like, damn, I just seen it.
It's like, how is that even something that comes up in a conversation? Like, yeah, you talking of a hostile take. Just to be clear, a hostile takeover would not be something that would make a whole lot of sense.
I want to say something real quick. This is involved. We're like 140 away from 20,000.
Oh,
there's 140 of
hit
you
that subscribe, y'all.
The channel.
Yeah, hit that subscribe, y'all.
140. All you got to do is sub.
Let's get to 20K, yo. We giving y'all
20G.
We giving y'all this emergency broadcast system. We got Solve on the run for y'all. Like, we giving y'all content right now.
Y'all saw? I gave you the leaker. Like, if y'all need it again, I mean, the leaker, the face of the leaker should definitely have y'all give us those subs.
It looked like he really out though. It really looked like he did something shiesty. And then hold on, I gotta pin that up. It's like he really did something shiesty. Look at the face. Look at the face though. Look at the eyes. The eyes will tell you. You know he did. That dude did something. And then the fact that he had the plane, he ready to go. He ready to board after he did it.
You see, listen.
Look at the phone. Look at the.
Okay, this is how you know he a leaker.
He leaked it. Look at him.
Who allows you to have water in the airport? This dude, he's a confidential informant.
Solve is in DR right now. Solve is in DR right now, chilling.
I'm sorry. There had to be.
Y'all don't know that photo. That photo was taken this morning. Y'all know that.
And he sent it to me, and I was like, "Why is he with the two fingers?"
Megatron said he on his way to Dubai.
Cat Daddy said those are the eyes of a white collar criminal.
Facts. That dude getting away with mad stuff. Facts. That dude. Facts. Continue. I don't even know whose turn it was. I forgot now. I lost track. But
I think it was Attic. It was on
Attic. What? Yeah. So who responsible, man? Who's at fault? Who we coming for?
Solve.
So
I mean, I could give you 1,000 different reasons of why, who did this, who did that. Does it matter in the end, though?
You did Nero City with Tupac and Dion. I'm done.
With Tupac and Dion.
To me, it just, I guess it just doesn't matter in the end. Like, we can sit here, we don't know who took these. It could have been Phil Spencer himself. We wouldn't know. Like,
That didn't
clearly, I'm joking.
Yo, because think about
it is, Nintendo. Nintendo got these and they read those. Oh, you're gonna do what? Okay.
You gonna wipe whom? Well, this was the first time because remember Nintendo. Remember old school Microsoft tried this back in the day when they first started with the DirectX team. Said, look, we come to you. They kind of got laughed out the room.
And you know what's funny? Like people sitting there like clowning, Phil for wanting to get. Who wouldn't want Nintendo in their corner?
Oh, of course not. Of course.
Like, who wouldn't want Nintendo in that? Like, let's be real here. Nintendo and Xbox like this, it's a wrap. Like,
it's crazy. I mean,
the best part about this, and I'm telling y'all got to look at his ambition. He didn't like that Microsoft tried to get Nintendo before and got rebuffed, got laughed out the room. So you know what I'll do? I'm gonna do something that they didn't do. I'm putting my name on a wall. Like his ambition is the most bonkers I've ever seen. And we have some serious CEOs in spots. And I got a question. I'm gonna have a question this week. I got a question now because of this. My man's ambition is wild.
Look, it's listen, we had the great Peter Moore on this show. And we all know that man got some ambition.
Yes.
But to see Phil's ambition out here in these streets, I have to admit, Peter, we're gonna talk about it. Hopefully we get you back on this Sunday. This is bro, you can't say he's not a dreamer. You can't say he's not a competitor. You can't say that the things that we're seeing. Then he said the other thing that I like, King, and so I don't know if you caught when he talked about 2022 and how like, this ain't it. Like we messing up, we fumbling the bat. Like to see them verbalize all the stuff that I felt, I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And then obviously, where we at now, right? It's crazy, but I'll jump in, King, if you was going to get your
I mean, he says that there's people out there talk about he's not trying.
No.
Like you ain't trying to be number one. I mean, one of my own podcast mates, brothers, LLC partners, one of them told me that they weren't acting or trying to be number one.
Wait, which one said that? Oh, that's off. That's the one that's on the run. That wasn't me. I know what I said. That's the on the run guy.
This guy right here. This guy. Hold on. Let's get that out of there. Get that guy right there.
So, you got something to say for yourself?
I mean, to be fair, this is all stuff we're not supposed to know. So yes, someone,
that's what you're dying on.
Exactly. It's like, hello. now that I know better.
Okay. So now, based on what we know, can we confirm that Phil Dominus Maximus Really Spencer is an absolute competitive savage?
I don't even know. I can't even call it competition, dude. It's scorched earth. Like it really is scorched earth. Like that's crazy.
So Delilah says you even sound like
you do sound like you want to run right now. You sound like
I'm in an echoey place right now.
Nah, you good. Yo, Cat Daddy said you're doing it from the holding cell, but continue.
Yo, if you
he in the bullpen. He in the bullpen.
That's exactly what it looks like.
They got Solve in the bullpen.
He got that one call.
He got that bullpen therapy. He called the show.
I had to go deeper and deeper into the bunker. So
Tom!
I got that. You gotta. Hey man.
We want you going deeper and deeper in nobody's bunker.
Nah, we ain't doing that, man.
Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that part.
Come on, man.
But yeah, no. This is different, man. Like this is scorched earth, really. It really is. It is. It's funny because we always talk about how Collins takes it feel like they're very PlayStation fanboy. He says no, but when you see this, it's like it is true because they're like, we're going to spend money on this. From other parts of the company. This is not money that's coming in through Game Pass and Xbox, and then we just reinvest it.
No,
we're just throwing money at it from every angle.
Facts.
Exactly. And it's like, we're going to scorch the earth and take over everything. It doesn't matter how much we lose someplace else. It doesn't matter. We're going to do this. And
all right, but can I push back a little bit, though? But I get where you're going. But remember, it takes two to be acquired. Someone has to want to be acquired. That's all I'm saying.
100%.
So you can't just you can have all the money in the world, but Nintendo had laughed him out the room in the beginning, right?
Yeah, but if you look at this email,
yes,
he's not giving up.
Of course,
Right.
I get it.
His thing is like, yeah, I'll wait them out.
Right.
Okay,
but my last pushback, and I got you at it, isn't it one thing when you jump in and you're a CEO of a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have a North Star. You've gotta have something that even some people say, you know what, that might not really be attainable. But 10 years from now, we're always aspiring. You're never at a point where you're like, okay, we did this, ABK, we're done. We're the greatest, y'all. Mm-hmm. Right? So my thing is a lot of it, and I get it because we're seeing it face value. And I understand a lot of it for some is going to look egregious. And I feel when you say it so. I guess my pushback is like, I looked at it as this is your pie in the sky. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but this is something that you're aspiring for. It's just funny to see him write it and say, well, yeah, they don't know just yet. As far as how good we would be for them.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't want you guys to misconstrue me as saying it's bad.
Oh, okay. Because the way you make it seem like they just out here and they gonna buy everybody and everybody's gonna lay down and say, yes, we're willing to be bought. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, it takes two to tango.
Yes.
But his willingness to just be like, you say no now, but you say no, but your eyes say yes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That willingness is it to me. That's why I say scorched earth. Where he's like, I don't care how long it takes, what I have to do. This is the goal, right?
Right. Facts.
So when I say that, it's like, any doubt, any questions about his motivations and where he wants to go, and the thing to take into account is this, right? This isn't something that's new now. This isn't something that's recent that I want to buy Nintendo, whatever.
You're right.
In my opinion, when he went to Satya with the plan to save Xbox and Game Pass and all this stuff, what came up.
Facts.
This is something that he had to bring to Satya from the beginning. For Satya to see this long-term vision of this domination of Xbox and this Game Pass thing, to me, the idea that we're going to try to bring Nintendo into the fold, Warner Brothers into the fold, ABK, whatever, things of that nature were part of that discussion.
Okay.
And looking at it, like King said, the fact that, hey, in the back of Xbox's mind, it's like, oh, you left us out the room all these years ago, we're going to get you. Look, I'm patient. We're gonna get you. And this idea that that's still sort of the North Star. That's why I say scorched earth, because it's like no matter when, no matter where, I'll be there. I'll be there.
But he's always been that. So he's always been the dude when you front, but then the check don't clear and you can't pay your rent.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And he's rubbing your back.
Right, and he'd be like, "Yo,
how you doing?"
Exactly. He got your switch on his shelf.
Okay, good. Now this is gonna be slimy, but I gotta get it out of my head.
Let's go.
Now you dancing in the club. You're like, "What up, love? You want me to buy you a drink?" Yeah. It's like, "No, leave me alone." What up, love? You want me to buy you a drink?
The roofie?
No, not the roofie. Come on.
No.
We're not doing that
because that's that Rick Ross stuff.
That's Rick.
But take this. So now she done drank a lot. She's tipsy. She in the bathroom throwing up. Eat a hole in the hair. Oh, get it out your face, rubbing your back. Go ahead. And she gonna remember that. Oh, the nice save.
Drove you home. Didn't he do that?
And drove you home, make sure you got home.
Go home safe.
That's it. You that guy. You the drive you home, make sure you get home safe. Don't take advantage of you.
Exactly.
Make sure that nobody else did.
Facts.
Go ahead, girl. You go home. And then she's sitting there thinking,
yeah, he was really good to me.
I did not want to get wiped up, but
he could have took advantage.
He could have, but he didn't. He could have did a hostile takeover, but he didn't.
Attic is laughing.
In the streets we call that in the streets we call that Captain Saver.
Captain Saver, bro. You can't say he not. You can't say, who did that for you? Who did that? He always pop up.
He get what he want.
You can't say what you want, right?
This man hasn't got out there and got what he wanted.
But his ambition is crazy. Good.
Yeah. So any discussion about that's in the bushes. I will never ever.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saul. We appreciate it.
That's it.
It is really. really out of pocket. And then you're talking about Peter Moore, right?
Yeah, let's go.
It was such a different time and place then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know that was a thing to be thinking about. Like, I was going. First of all, I don't think Xbox back then did not have the full backing of Microsoft the way it does now. Right? So I don't think the pockets weren't the same.
Correct.
But it's just this idea that we're just going to take over everything. I'm really interested to see what he feels about what's transpired today, right? Because
right. We're going to talk about that's going to be the next.
Different time and place. Yeah. So it's interesting stuff, man. But I'll tell you, like, again, it's crazy because I don't know. Honestly, some of this stuff, obviously, most of this stuff, all of this stuff was not supposed to get out.
Yeah.
I wonder what it does to those relationships, right?
Yeah, no, good point.
Behind the scenes, are they really having conversations that are this candid? And this is nothing that any person in the know would not expect to be in an email somewhere.
It's like every time Phil leaves Nintendo, you know, one day you coming over, right?
Yeah,
one day you gonna be mine, right?
Because he's saying, like, think about it. His thing is like, I don't care. All that success, all those millions of Switches sold, it don't matter. None of that matters. Your future is with us. You just don't realize it yet.
Yeah. Look, we're gonna move on. As far as this, my thoughts was even though we're hearing that it was Microsoft that uploaded, I'm still gonna wait and reserve judgment.
I think it was something else. I thought I had something else on.
Yeah, once this FTC stuff come up, we'll take the news. I'm not saying the news is wrong. I'm not saying Video Game Chronicles is wrong. Whatever. I just want to wait until more information comes out, more details. Is this a situation like how the ESA and someone put the file up on the wrong?
They already got solved online.
Oh yeah, we got solved. All right, so it is what it is. It is what it is. So we're gonna
read
move on.
What it says.
Wait, what is? Oh, they got solved online. Hold on.
It says,
one of these men is in Dubai. I can't. I can't. They out of pocket.
Yo, what have we done? That's it.
It's wild out here. But anyway, I don't know what's going on with the joint, but the pins is bugging. But whatever, it is what it is. So we're gonna move on. What I was gonna say is, okay, so we're gonna kind of combo this because we gotta move on a little bit. So now that all this is out, gotta talk about the competitor here. And we got to talk about Addict. We got to talk about Sony and PlayStation. It cannot be in Microsoft's best interest that all of this stuff is out there. System 2028, future plans 2030 for what is it, dominance of the industry or, them trying to take their spot, going for the number one spot, by the way, that they literally were saying that kind of energy. Yeah. So what do you think as far as Sony's response? And then we'll combine it with the last topic, which was the leak aftermath, which is Phil actually came out with a statement. And this was today, on reference to everything. He says, we've seen the conversation.
The sad part is everything was today.
Yeah, everything's today. We've seen, that's an emergency ILP. We've seen the conversation around old emails and documents. It is hard to see our team's work shared in this way because so much has changed and there's so much to be excited about right now and in the future. We will share the real plans when we are ready. That is from Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer today, 4:30 p.m. East, just a few hours ago. This is what Phil had to say. So what do you think, man, as far as, Sony's response and then Phil's response as far as it being old stuff?
I don't really think PlayStation could say a whole lot. They're going to sit and probably, first off, they're probably talking about how we, they're like, let's have a meeting, how we communicate in the company. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should move things off of emails. If you got something to say, you're gonna Zoom call me, man. We ain't having no paper trail. Especially if you have something to say about the competition, pick up a phone and call me. So we're not being out there exposed like this. I think Microsoft will pivot to a degree. It's like I said, I would assume some of the things on that list have already been pivoted from the time that they were done. Right. But I would say that is, for the most part, the roadmap that they're doing. And And once you commit as much as they probably have committed to this point, a lot of that can't be changed.
Right.
So they're going to have to, pivot what they can change. I don't think this is going to hurt Microsoft in the long run, because I do think that for the most part, it wasn't public knowledge. It was like common sense knowledge, especially people in the industry. Besides stuff like, Oblivion remake, Fallout 3 remake, it sucks that those were leaked. Because those would have been really good information. Like, this doesn't hurt Microsoft in the industry. This hurts more of the consumers that watch them than anything else. It doesn't hurt PlayStation because it hurts us. We're not going to get as excited as we would have if we saw like the Fallout thing happen live or anything like that. But as far as PlayStation, they knew the majority of this. I'm willing to bet you. There's some things that they probably were surprised on. Maybe some of the specs with the new Xbox Series X, and maybe the fact that that it's oval and not square. They probably didn't know stuff like that, but I would say they had a good idea of where everything was going before this happened.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting to see the response. I gotta get.
It's just like Twitter Snake said on Oblivion Remaster was leaked. Like a lot of this leak just confirmed previous leaks.
Now, some of it did. Some of it was new. A lot of it was new, and hardware was in explicit detail and visual explicit detail. But I understand what you're saying from the game standpoint. I want to get Solve's back. If not, I'll get King on this. But Solve, you back? No, he's still.
Yeah, I'm here.
You changing planes? Yeah.
He fueling the sky.
So Solve, man, like, what do you think? The double whammy here, which is Sony now knowing the playbook, and for next year, for potentially future, and then Phil's kind of response, which is like, these are old documents. This is old information. We will reveal the real plan in due time. And, obviously we're sad about what happened and the way it was revealed.
I think this is the overarching game plan.
Okay.
What's still to be set in stone is the details, right? And that stuff is still fluid, but the overarching plan, I think that's what it is. Because then at that point, you're inferring that they gave the FTC false information and none of this is true. Right. And they just gave, you give them that file, not this one. So obviously there's truth to the stuff that has come out. So I don't think, like Alex said, I don't think they pivot. Not that is the plan. There are details within that plan or something, things that are still being worked out, but that's it. And that's why before, when I was saying, when King pushed back a little bit and said, Sony has to know where the future's going. But the thing about it is, when you're looking at this game plan for the next console and it's super, this cloud-based hybrid thing, what I meant is that Sony isn't even remotely as prepared for that type of future as Microsoft did, right? So now they see that is a real pivot into that corner. I don't care how preparation Sony has, how many games as a service Sony puts out there. Fact of the matter is, they are never, and they will never be as ready for a cloud-based future as Microsoft is. So to see that their next console is going to be this hybrid thing, where this super big push into the cloud and really being able to get the most out of that technology in conjunction with local hardware, that has to be something that they're looking at, like, do we have to try to figure out a way to pivot in this direction? Can we even do that, right? Because again, I think the Sony game plan is they dip their toes in stuff. Hey, here's this PS Plus thing where it's kind of like Game Pass, but it's not. Hey, this other side hardware, we need games as a service so we can support our other big AAA games to continue to make those things. So little responses in the way that they can to what Microsoft is doing. Yeah. This is different though, right? This has been basing your entire next generation of hardware on an infrastructure that you don't have a hold on in the same way that Microsoft does. So that, again, it's going to make you think about what do we have to do moving forward? So again, I think it's, for Microsoft, they're still going to do what they're going to do. I think it just came out a lot earlier than they expected to, and we'll find details about it. So Phil saying that is Phil speak, saying, hey, yes, the details of this stuff have not come out, while not acknowledging the fact that this is probably true. This is the general idea of what we're going and where we're going. So, I mean, all of that at the end of the day, what does it do long term? I think Attic hit it on the nose. Mm-hmm. It's not having that excitement of, oh, what's coming next.
Yeah, we lost that moment.
Same with the NVIDIA leak, right? With the NVIDIA leak, when that started, when the first set of batch of games started to come out, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this one came out, this one came out, this one came out. Then at that point, you really do start believing the rest of it. And if you believe in that, then it's like, damn, I'm not going to be surprised by anything that comes down the pipeline. Mm-hmm. So it is that thing of, when we're at a summer game fest or maybe an E3, if that ever comes back, we're not as excited to see certain things come out, because we know it's coming. And I've always, even ever since we gotten into the space, you guys have more connections with people like that, in DMs. You guys may know some stuff that I tell you explicitly, don't tell me I don't care. I want to be surprised, right? Mm-hmm. I still want to have that sort of surprise and joy. So yeah, it's disappointing to know all that stuff because, you have an idea about what's coming. Obviously, when the stuff is properly announced by them, they're going to tell you the details, and we'll have discussions about the details, and we'll have discussions about what that means for gaming in that moment, in that place and time. Mm-hmm. So the discussions, it doesn't stop the discussions from happening, but again, it's stuff that we're not supposed to be privy to that are now, and it's just the reality we live in. But I think it's going to be interesting to see. Again, it feels like it's a future that only Microsoft can do, considering their infrastructure, and to see where Sony pivots or doesn't pivot, or it's going to be interesting. And that's pretty much it.
No doubt, King. Where we at? Sony, the enemy got the paperwork. You can see the future, what's going on, and how do they combat that? What's their position? And then obviously Phil's statement about, hey, these are the old documents. We will reveal in due time the real plan, so to speak, as far as how it's going to go. So where you at with this?
Well, the Sony aspect of it is, we all know Sony is planning the traditional hardware. All right, Sony is going to sit there and they're going to plan a hardware because that's what they do. They stick to the old metrics until they are beaten ahead.
Why are they planning a hardware when they're not going to be PS6?
Well, here we go.
If you allow me to finish, I can
here we go.
I mean, because listen, there's a lot of times people plan to wake up in the morning, but they just don't. Stuff happens. Oh my God. You can have the best laid plans. It don't mean it's going to happen, but you got a plan, right?
Back to you, King.
No, you got to do this. Yeah. Now, it's just, they're going to have their plans. They're going to be planning hardware. Mm-hmm. In these next 5 years, the level of consistent games that's going to hit Game Pass is going to make it hard for them to keep up. And I believe by year 3 into this 5-year thing, they're going to look and say, is it viable for us to even compete? That's going to be it. I told you it's going to be a fall. See, now, they wanted that fall for them to be a surprise. Going to the next hardware is a space they can't go to. You can copy all the stuff that you want to copy. You can go to AMD, we go to AMD, you go to AMD. Mm-hmm. We want the x86 chip, we want the x86 chip. You want to do SSD, we gonna go with a faster SSD.
Not the Mr. B2, cool. Yeah.
So, this dude has been copying and pasting homework all the time. You know what Microsoft said? Do this. Do this.
So
first of all, you can't do Game Pass properly. Can't do it. You have the ability to do it, but you can't do it. You can't do it. Right? So that's what Microsoft has been showing you. Since you've been studying me, I'm going to start pulling the moves that you can't do. And I'm going to show the people the difference between me and you. So Sony and their arrogance is like, so what, you can do a handstand?
I gotta be a handstand.
So what, you can do a handstand? That's nothing. I can do a cartwheel.
Why they gotta have that voice?
They didn't come for the cartwheel, bro. They came for the handstand. So they're gonna start doing more things that Sony cannot do, and one of those things is the cloud infrastructure. That right there alone, and dudes can sit there and clown because y'all This is what the distractors are gonna do. This is what the 2023 dudes is gonna do. Not knowing what 28 is about.
What they gonna do?
These 2023 dudes that's living right now gonna bring up crackdown. But this is what they showed. They showed the crackdown.
I'm telling you, the fear mongering gonna happen. They're gonna say hybrid. This is not the future we want. They're gonna say that.
They can do it all they want. Those are the same dudes that didn't want TV and didn't want digital. These are the same dudes that told you, I don't want to look at the NFL on my box. And every Sunday they got us split screen watching us and watching football. Y'all watch Netflix on your PlayStation. I know.
Wait, hold on, I gotta cut you. You so right, because remember when dudes like, I don't want a camera, it's a spy thing, and now dudes are like, Alexa, do this. No, what you gonna do?
You got a whole snitch in your house. See, but the thing is, the best part about it is, you guys always complain about something you don't want, but then get it. As soon as you get it, it's the greatest. I couldn't believe I was living without this. We know what site y'all go to on your PlayStations. We know the site.
Oh, come on.
We know the sites that y'all frequent. The metrics that came out. We know about y'all.
We not doing the Pornhub metrics.
We know that y'all not playing
time on the Pornhub metrics.
We know what's really happening with the haptic feedback.
Yo, come on, King. This is a low blow, even for you.
No, but
this is a low blow, bro.
This is the reason why they put haptic feedback in their controllers, and they got to blow in their controllers.
Oh,
guys got different things.
I had to get this man. Please, he's out of pocket.
Their controllers got microphones and stuff. There's stuff happening over there, but y'all can do that. But y'all can't do cloud. So y'all gonna fearmonger and talk about all this, that, and the third. Hey man, remember Crackdown. All right. Fearmonger. 2023 and 2028. I want you to go back 5 years ago. Are you the same person that you was 5 years ago?
Good point.
Are you doing the same things that you was doing 5 years ago?
Good point.
Have you grown wiser, smarter, more intelligent, have moved on and elevated yourself in those last 5 years?
Oh, God.
Now imagine a company that is $1 trillion company that has the greatest minds working there. And they have annual meetings to see where the company is going to be in 5 years. They put projections and goals on the boards. These engineers are trying to change the world. So I happen to know a fabulous engineer whose mind is incredible. And 5 years ago, you would have not been able to get the Series X in that form factor for that price, how they did it.
Yeah.
But the engineers were able to do it. And they were so proud of their work, they dropped it off to Digital Foundry and said, do with it as you will.
I remember that. And Austin Evans and them.
They gave it to everybody to check out the work. That's the first time Microsoft became a superior hardware company. So now you have that company that is a superior. Don't tell me they're not better at you at software, because they knock your socks off with their software game. It's crazy. They're better at you in software, they're better at you in cloud, and they're better at you in hardware. Now they're going to take the hardware to a place that you can't go because they're going to marry it to stuff that you can't do. Do you even show up to the fight? I don't think you show up to the fight. I think you pull a no mas. I think you just say no. And I think you pack it up and do whatever you're going to do. I see these leaks as troublesome for certain crowd and certain demographics. It may be a warning sign for Sony, but at the same time, I think they're so entrenched in the ways that they do things that they can't pivot. I think in 5 years is not enough time for them to be able to pivot to change what's inevitably about to happen to them.
Okay. Look, I jump in, man. What a week. What a week. First part, I'll be honest, I don't like that Sony get to see the playbook. I think it's a disadvantage, man. I think they can, again, to your point, King, how much can they pivot, based on their plans? Who knows? But it can't be good to see the vision next year on a counterpunch for a mid-gen refresh. so to speak. It can't be to me. That's not even the thing. The worst is the hybrid console future 2028 starter generation when they plan, to do that. And then, the 2030 and where they see gaming and where they want to be and how ambitious they were. So to me, let's just say Sony was theoretically caught with their pants down before this information came out.
Right.
The enemy has time to at least prepare now for something that's coming. So that's the part. It's like, damn, they lost the element of surprise in the war. Right. So now the enemy can at least try to think and counteract. Will they be able to take it, to the cloud? Probably not. But they may be able to reinforce their own personal strategies and tighten up what they do to say, yo, we could try to combat them this way if they go that way. So that now, for gamers, is going to make it better for us, but I don't think it's to Microsoft's best interest, obviously. So that's that. To Phil's comments, I feel for them. I feel for that entire team. Again, no one wants the vision revealed in this manner because we don't have context. We don't know what this truly means. We can't see it. So
just
now,
paperwork.
Yeah, we just see words on a page, and it's just like, again, to me, it just reminds me of like, when we read, let's say we had the documents for God of War 2018, and it's gonna be like, yo, Kratos gonna have a son. There ain't no jump button. And there ain't no more. We're going to be like,
what?
Somebody said to Monica, what are you doing? Right? Yeah. That's what we're going to say.
Over the shoulder, story driven, Kratos.
No action, nothing that you used to. So again, I feel for them because there's no context. There's no extra information. Is we reading cold words on a page and just seeing it. So it's just like, and again, I feel because I don't know. What if, again, theoretically, what if they've have on R&D some of the latest technology on the back end for cloud that's truly going to change the industry? We can't tell that with this, right? We just hear hybrid console.
This stuff comes with a presentation.
Right.
Usually this stuff comes with the person that is bringing it to the table, explaining stuff that's there.
Right.
The stuff for the games and the roadmap with Bethesda. I think that stuff there was before they got acquired. And then, what they wanted to release on their timeline.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And, look, last thing I'll say is just that it is interesting that, to Saul's point, that he came out and addressed this. So we do know a lot of it was true, right?
Yeah.
Because a statement came out, right? So a statement came out, to me, that's PR getting a hold of it. And in their defense, yes, there is some stuff that is older and they're in a different place on some things. But I agree with Saul. I think the overarching vision is still true. The question is, how much do they pivot from that vision? And that's all I got, y'all. But what a day. What a day. This is absolutely gaming history. As the Lords, we figure, we don't do this often, but when something of this magnitude happens, we try to cover it and try to cover it to the best of our ability. Appreciate y'all coming through last minute. This was completely unplanned. Again, shout out to my brother Saul on the run. He did what he had to do, and we don't know if we're gonna get him back. But it is what it is, man. It's all about the paper and the clicks and the likes, and he did that. He did that. Yes, he did that. He's about the IOP. We needed the clicks. We needed the 20K. You know what I'm saying? We got the deal with NZXT now, and things is bubbling. And my brother, he put his life on the line. He's like, look, man, we got to put their business out. We putting their business out, and we going to cake up.
20K?
We going to hit the 20K or what? What we doing? We going to check. What we doing, Addict? Did we hit the 20K? Yeah, y'all ain't subscribed yet? My brother's sacrifice. Y'all here.
Could y'all hit the 20K?
Could y'all hit the 20K, please? Could y'all hit these likes? Because it's 826. Let's go, man. My man is literally switching fights. He's somewhere on the run right now. You know what I'm saying? Dipping through TSA.
PlayStation dudes want to like it and subscribe. Stop playing.
Stop playing, man. We having fun. We
give you you watching. You wanted to hear what I had to say.
Live from Guantanamo Bay.
Man, pause. You had to get that work. Now listen, I'm not gonna be around to hear the super chats because I gotta run out.
You gotta run.
Right, but if there's anything pertaining to me that you ask inside the super chat and you want my answer to it, they're gonna send it to me.
I gotta go too. I think we should just cover the super chat Sunday.
Nah, I can't do
that.
No,
we can't do that.
I'll read them. I'll read them. No, I'll read them then. I'll read them.
But
I'll take care.
Cod, what I'm gonna do is, if any super chats are pertaining to me,
yes, we address Sunday.
Just let me know what they are and I'll answer them. I'll answer you on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, I'll definitely answer you directly on Twitter for whatever it is for me.
Got you.
I do apologize.
No.
I gotta. This is family stuff. I'm just letting them know. Because normally we don't do this at this time.
Yeah,
right?
we never do this.
It's a school night. It's a work night.
I'll be back then.
I got to drop my son off. Take him to the gym. He work out. We work out. He eat and stuff like that. So I got to drop him off.
Health is wealth. I love that you're back on your
man.
gym, bro. I'm loving that you're back on your gym.
Yeah, every day. But
outro.
I'm also not gonna do a whole lot of things like everybody else do. You understand?
Why you got to do it like that?
yo, listen. I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna let that stink in the air.
You stupid.
But for sure. I just gotta drop them off, and I'll try to zoom back in and still catch up with you. Love you guys for showing up. We had almost 1,500 strong on an impromptu Tuesday. I appreciate you guys, and we turned Taco Tuesday into something different. I gotta thank Salve for what he did.
Facts.
But now I'm a man on the run.
Yeah. Look, he's about the team. He sacrificed it all for the team, and that's what it's about right now. So if his audio is going to be a little sketchy for the next couple of months, please understand. Please.
I heard El Chapo helping get a
We try to grant asylum.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's going through Ecuador.
Try to see you could get my brother safe haven right now during this difficult time.
He's bouncing from place to place. He has a VPN that's all over the place.
Got you, bro. No doubt. I got the super chat. Solve any outros for you? I'll hold it down. Any outros for you?
Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah, I get you.
Okay. Yeah. One last thing is funny on this.
Let's go.
PlayStation knowing the roadmap that I forgot to mention. In the short term, I think it affects them more. It affects Microsoft more because when you look at the refreshes are not a pro, right? So it's a willingness to give up the power narrative, at least for the back end of this generation, if there is a pro that comes out, right? Yeah. So now you got to deal with that. And then to King's point, at that point, the hope is that Game Pass is popping the way it's supposed to be popping, and you combat it with that. Yeah. But again, these consoles, they're refreshes, they're different form factors, they have other quality of life changes, but they are not more powerful. So if there's a PS5 Pro or whatever that comes out, they will retake that power narrative for the back end of this generation, and we'll see how much that matters, right? Because we saw with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, it didn't matter so much because it's just the hardcore that's going to jump on those things, right? It's not really, you're not bringing in new people with that necessarily. Right. Especially if you're offering some sort of slim version at that point too, which I think they're going to be doing as well. So, it doesn't really matter, but again, that's a narrative that's going to go back into their corner, at least for, a couple of years. Right. So that's something to consider in the short term.
No, it's a good point.
But again, I took one for the team. I had to do what I had to do, put the work out there, and then immediately hop on a plane and make sure, that my family's safe. But, I had a contingency plan all along. I was ready for this day. And it's just what it is. Hopefully, it was all in the service of getting ILP to 20,000. You know what I mean?
I think we're going to hit 20K because I think we really did it. We're moving out here. It's betterment of the team. And we appreciate you, man. Just be safe out there. Make sure you change up your phone numbers every now and then.
Exactly. I got the burners rocking.
Got the burner.
You know what I mean? So I don't know where I'll be coming from on Sunday, but we will see. Yeah, I'll let y'all know.
Hopefully, Peter will appreciate you going through extenuating circumstances to make it happen. So, we appreciate you, fella. Get back to work. Do what you got to do. Love you.
Definitely.
And I will hold it down too, with the realm.
Man, we love you too. And again, this is a day, man. This is a day.
What a day. What a day.
What a day. What a day. So thank you guys for rocking. This is a beautiful thing. Love you too, brother. Appreciate you taking the super chats.
Yeah, I got you. It ain't going to be as smooth as you, but I do the best I can while you on the run.
We'll do what we got to do.
Exactly. No doubt.
I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, no doubt. All right, Realm, I'm going to hold y'all down. Give me a second. I'm going to try to get my best voice going together. And let's try to take care of the super chats. Y'all came through in droves for us for this emergency podcast. So again, shout out to, hopefully this is not, let me put it on me for a second. Pen's been acting weird today. I gotta fix a new computer, y'all. So you gotta bear with me. Nintendo, the otaku, the homie, $10 super chat. We respect Phil. He's a good kid. Sometimes he just gets ahead of himself. He'll be blowing up our phone talking nonsense though. I don't want to have to send out the Nintendo ninjas. He needs to calm down. Listen, man. He had his eye on y'all, man. He just said y'all don't know what's good for y'all yet. You know, give him time. Hey, I did take the 10-year deal. You took the 10-year deal, so. Hey, relationships, did improve since that email. We could at least say that. Let's do God Emperor Sofa King, $5 super chat. Phil is that dude. People said he didn't have that dog in him. Man is ruthless with Phil. Well, yeah, one thing we learned is ambition. The ambition of Phil Spencer is truly remarkable. That man definitely shoots for the stars. He ain't playing out here. Shout out to LOGNET's own Joe Repco, member for 35 months. Good afternoon, Lords. I can't believe the Series S conspired with Solve to leak all of those documents. But man, I guess Xbox isn't going anywhere, huh? Yeah, shout out to the Series S. Shout out to a revision of the Series S. Shout out to, good point about Xbox not going anywhere. It looks like as far as the commitment to console is still there. I think a lot of people were very fearful of that. So I think we learned that.
Do you want me to pick up some of them now?
Yeah, I do like two more, then you jump in. Starlight 137 with the £2 super chat. I'm scared of Phil Spender. He is done playing. Yeah. These emails, again, ambitious targets. Your baby father, $5 super chat. Shudder in terror and witness the rise of Dark Phil. Devour of War, not the Galactus reference. Oh man, Devour of War. He's outside, y'all. Again, intentions are being made very clear. What you got, Attic?
We got a $5 super chat from Thomas Serrano. FGC, the biggest opponent. Ops will pull up and teach him a lesson. Got a member chat for 26 months from Jigga J. Phil Dominus Maximus. Show enough Spencer.
Show enough respect. Show enough Spencer. Show enough.
Got a member chat for 39 months from Heated Heavy 505. King got that refresh Xbox from the DVD, man.
Shout out to Heated.
$2 super chat from Chris Macumbo, Cumby, or I don't know, whatever one man, whatever's one's main in M key for so far rating for me. I actually like Kenji.
You like Kenji? Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, I'm a Kung Lao main, so salute that. Let me get. Oh, sorry, you got it.
$5 super chat from Michael Mooney. A hybrid x86 ARM design would keep backwards compatible and add mobile game support to console.
Yes, good catch. I was thinking about that. Forgot to mention the mobile arm as such. Yeah, that is forward thinking, and the cloud part, again, I just want to be clear because a lot of people are getting scared when they hear console cloud hybrid, but we also have to think about mobile games and their commitment to mobile and the importing there and backward compatible. That's a good catch, Michael Mooney. I forgot to mention that.
$3 super chat from Just Bring It. 4K 60 Zelda got me feeling beefy in my shorts.
Whoa!
$5 super chat from Hustle and Motivate. There was extremely arrogant of Phil to say that about Nintendo as the Switch is outselling everyone.
I think let me comment on that. I do think I understand people's anger just to hear Nintendo mentioned, but in fairness, out before they had Tegra and before the Switch 2 stuff, hardware was always a kind of a little issue for them. So I understand his mindset of wanting to make that happen. But to your point, it takes two to tango. So Nintendo has to want to do that as well. And it looks like they're fine right now. This is where they are.
Yeah, $2 super chat from Michael Patton. I'm trying to do something. Phil Spencer is King Bradley. $5 super chat from James Hill. Unless Phil has 100 billion plus check, Nintendo will laugh that man out of the room again.
Hey, he ain't completely laughed out because they took a 10-year deal after this with Call of Duty. So the relationship is still cozy. Now, what happens now after this information's out is a whole nother situation.
Yeah, we got a member chat from Rambling Entertainment. He's been a member for 1 month. Crazy how the leaks came out a day after it was revealed. The
Elder Scrolls 6.
Elder Scrolls 6 was PC and Xbox only. Warren says it was an error from Microsoft, but one came from another. I think it was just. I think that was probably the start of the leaks. Jared Mack, $5 super chat. Xbox has no games. Traumatized Xbox last gen. This new Xbox is the result we've been seeing gaming done on the scale. Xbox World Order is a real thing.
Hey,
I got a $20 super chat from WV Hart Guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the Lords in the Realm, and a huge shout out to Cog. I appreciate you, your friend. It's so great seeing you back and healthy.
Thank you, Justin. Oh, Justin, I remember you. Appreciate you, brother. And thank you. Yeah, I'm doing much better each day, each week. A little stronger, a little better. I'm getting back to myself. And I would say the last week is finally the first time I start to feel myself. But still more work to be done. But thank you.
$5 super chat from Johnny Benzo. Yo, General King, did you see the leaked email where Microsoft confirmed that Sony isn't making a PS6? Question mark, all hell ILP.
I ain't see that email, but
yeah, $5 from nobody. Also, with the GDC head of Xbox Game Publishing said that had like over 10 million games of development over there. So with that under the pipeline is insane. That's crazy. $5 super chat from Kevin Baskerville. PSX like Dollar Tree raising prices to stay in business.
Wow.
$5 share from Bleaches.
Yeah, you're gonna say that.
Why don't people realize Series X is the mid-gen refresh? It just happened to release on the same days as main console, the Series S.
I've been seeing that narrative. Interesting.
$5 super chat from Ellis. PlayStation with the emergency state of play 2.0 anytime now. Deep dive into baby steps. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
$5 super chat from Dreadroom. Hybrid as they are doing with Microsoft Flight Simulator, but on steroids, and not to say hardware will not be capable.
Hold on, let me get my man. That's my man, Dreadpool. Met him up in Florida. I want to comment on that. Yeah, look,
I'm eating.
I got you. Go, yeah, I got you. Yeah, Dreadpool. The hybrid thing is interesting. So I'm telling people, pump the brakes. I see what you're saying because Flight Simulator use a lot of that stuff in the background, and as far as the calculations, the navigation, the map system, the Bing, or whatever. I'm more on that type of energy as opposed to, it's going to improve the graphical for that. They're going to get more teraflops out of cloud compute. I'm not on that part, but again, I'm not privy to 2028 and where tech's going to be. But I see where you're going, Dripple, and I tend to align with what you're saying there. Shout out to Dean Rivera, $10 super chat. One of the documents has Phil saying that if by 2027 they didn't have enough Game Pass subs, they would exit the console market. I love Xbox and hope that's not true. Thoughts on those comments from him? I didn't see that document. I did see documents on Game Pass projections, and I did see the PC projections that they had was much higher than they actually got, which they were a bit off base on that one. But yeah, we'll see. I think that, to me, when I see the 2028 vision, that they're still looking to be in it as far as console. That's the most I got of it. But I will agree that, yeah, they got to be internal targets they have to hit as far as Game Pass for them to be in a sustainable state. So we shall see. Pony up. $2 super chat. New Series X looks like a disc, but can't take a disc. No doubt. Look like a cylinder. No doubt. Gerald Mack, the OG, $5 super chat. Haptic feedback on a new controller and 2 terabytes. I think it's a fair trade-off for the loss of the Blu-ray player. I think a little. I feel you. Look, I like that. I like everything that's going on. My only thing is, which I brought to King, is it can't be 500, and let's just say the PlayStation 5 Pro, somehow it's 500. That's a problem because you can't have your competitor with a more powerful thing at the same price. They should that would be a lesson from the Xbox One versus the PlayStation 4 era. So I think if they do know it's PS5 is 500, they got to come lower. But if they figure it's higher, then they'll stay at 5. Deaf Side, $2 super chat. King David is addressing the Xbox Nation. Hey, hold the line. Yeah, he was in his bag. He was holding it. He was definitely in his bag. Shout out to Spartan661, $2 super chat. JR is hiding because Order 66 has been initiated. All right, let's see what Jim Ryan, I know for one thing, they definitely will look at them documents to see how they're going to respond. Rubber Knob with the $5, I'm going to say Australian. And now it's Microsoft's turn to sue the FTC. This is the greatest comedy show ever. Yeah, this is wow. What a leak. Insane. Mad0410, member for 41 months. Is that the new Hallworth Xbox chair? Yes, it is. Shout out to the good members of Hallworth with the chair. I absolutely love it. Been rocking it for a while. This is my first time setting it up because I wanted to set it up with the new, you know what I'm saying, the new rig right now. But yeah, this thing is comfortable as hell. I love it. It is. I'll put some pictures up on Twitter. I was meaning to do it just today, emergency podcast. But yes, it is the Hallworth Xbox exclusive gaming line chair, and it is very comfortable. Shout out to Samar's, I can't pronounce, Samar's CR40. $5 super chat. Until Phil's email, I thought this was a Wrath of Khan move, since the FTC couldn't get a judge to block the AVK first. Oh, so now all bets is off. Now that their path is clear. I see what we doing. Robert Kellett with the $2 super chat. Surprise ILP. Yeah, we had to do it for the culture, y'all. Can't wait to watch later. This is a good one. This is really fun. We had Solve jokes for days. Jonas the Dad, $2 super chat. Solve in the walls running from Agent Smith. The Matrix, no doubt. Robert Kelly, $2 super chat. Did you pop off seeing Ghostwire 2 yet, bro? I was so happy. Y'all know how much I love Ghostwire Tokyo. I know it's flawed. I know it's not perfect. But the premise is so amazing. The combat with the hand. Bro, I've been wanting to see. They don't even need to do open world. Just do condensed. Fix the graphical thing. Man, I'm excited. Yeah, you got me. Robert Kelly, $2 super chat. So General King, excited to see Mario in Halo. I will bring that to King's attention. Shout out to Spartan661, $2 super chat. Solve is DB Cooper right now, taking that money. Facts. Good reference. I like that. Spartan661, $2 super chat. Xbox is showing that they can do a keg stand. Yo, they are wildin'. Robert Kelly, $2 super chat. So that's what joystick does in real life. Damn. Wow. I'm going to leave that alone. And then we got Grail Knight, $5 super chat. How much do I need to super chat to be able to listen to the show after the fact? Currently working night shift, so I can't stick around. All hail ILP. Well, it'll be up on YouTube channel, so you can still listen to it, you know, as soon as it finishes going live. I don't know if we're going to have the audio because we did not tell Kaibatsu about this. So, but this is an official ILP episode.
Most likely there'll be no timestamps.
Yeah, it might be going to be no timestamps, y'all. This is just one of those.
I mean, it's literally just one show about one topic.
One topic, pretty much. Then we just freestyle, put it together last minute. Necromancer Zale, $10 super chat. Thank you. Thanks for the emergency show, guys. Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone. Yeah, we try to do it for it. Robert Kellett, $2 super chat. Solve is on the run. Damn, he killed Joystick. He murdered the lover.
I'll pick up. $2 super chat from Tom909. Solve didn't kill Joystick. He just dared to play.
Whoa.
$2 super chat from Spartan661. Solve, everyone misses you when you are not on IOP.
Facts.
$2 super chat from V. Amari?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Methcast guy has the most clickbait video ever.
Come on, be nice.
Yeah,
be nice. Come on.
That's
no personal attacks and no personal attacks. Come on.
$5 super chat from Jeff Newton. Microsoft must not be happy about this leak. Ooh. Do you think Microsoft proper may go after FTC leak?
Yeah, I mean,
it depends who's fault.
Yeah, it depends on that fault. If they have proof that they are not at fault, yeah, you best believe they are going to take action. But yeah, that's what I got. Shout out to Lila. Am I in that chair? Yeah, this chair is amazing. I cannot go back to my other one. So salute. And again, salute to everybody that pulled Drunken Ninja. Thank you. He said, love y'all for doing it. DEF CON. Yeah, it was definitely emergency broadcast system situation. Attic, you want to say anything to the fine people before we get up?
Yeah, I'm sending you guys over there to J-Main.
Nice.
I think J-Main's a great content creator. Go over there. Get say ILP raid, man. I want all of you to go over there and say that, hit that like button. Obviously, if you've been here for like 2 hours, if you can't be there that long, that's fine. But he's a good content creator. Go give him some motivation to continue making content. But I appreciate everyone coming through. Yeah. We had over 1,400 people.
Yeah, this was crazy. This is for the culture. So much love. Really appreciate y'all. Again, excuse the technical difficulties. I'm still figuring things out on the new rig. Shout out to NZXT. Appreciate all the love we got for NZXT. Very beefy emergency episode. I see you, Astro Parrot King, being messy. But yeah, this was fun. Again, a moment in gaming history. Usually these type of moments we try to cover, and this was one that couldn't wait. Appreciate the support. Another reason why we did it is because we intend to have Peter Moore back for part 2 of our show. We obviously we the Sega talk, the Dreamcast talk, the 360 talk. We didn't get into the EA. We got to talk about the Unity era. He was at Unity. This man has a storied career. He was at Reebok, Unity, you name it. Owner of Liverpool Football Club. So there's still a couple of chambers we got to get into. And we would talk that with him, and we wanted to be fair because this was such a news topic, and that show, let's be real, would have been like 8 hours. Let's be real, between Peter Moore, it's too much going on. But anyway, appreciate y'all. We will see y'all Sunday again. Thank y'all, Realm, for pulling up last minute. Did this for the culture. Attic, any final things?
Appreciate everyone coming through, man, and definitely shout out to Travis for doing the interview.
Yes.
We did an interview on the state of reviews in the gaming industry, and definitely J-Main, man, afterwards click that button, man, go over there and say IOP raid. You guys have a good day.
All right, we out of here. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. Peace.